Good evening, race fans and ladies and gentlemen of all ages, as we are welcoming you to Dre Broadcasting Network as we are bringing you the Cyber Racing Association $100 Team Challenge here tonight. We have a track full of drivers. They are now out on the track getting ready for their qualifying, and tonight it is a special event. As we said, this is the Cyber Racing Association $100 Team Challenge here at Talladega starting out. These drivers will be competing in 3 different races here tonight. First, we have the Talladega for 30 laps. Then we go to Daytona for 35 laps. And these guys will finish out the evening with 40 laps at Charlotte Motor Speedway. These guys will be in the Camping World trucks, and as you said, this is a team event. We have a lot of teams out here. They will have at least 4 drivers. And in the booth here tonight, I am joined by the owner of Cyber Racing Association, Dwayne Cooper. How you doing, Dwayne?
Doing just fine, Dave. Yeah, we got 10 teams of 4 drivers that are going to be going through a series of 3 races, trying to collect as many points as they can. You know, it'd be nice to win a couple, but the main thing is they want to make sure all their teammates get in there. Because after this race, one team will not go to the second race with us. So one team will be eliminated after Talladega here. After Daytona, we're going to eliminate a team and 1 driver from each team. So we will only have 8 teams and 3 drivers from each of them 8 teams racing at Charlotte to decide who takes home $100.
Well, Dwayne, that sounds like this is going to be an interesting race here tonight. These drivers are going to, as you said, going to be battling out. It isn't about winning the race. It's about where your teammates finish. As you said, also, these drivers got to beware because one team is not going to make it to the second round. So this will definitely be a team event here. So these drivers are going to have to work with their teammates, get hooked up here at Talladega.
Yeah, not only that, we have Radical Racing sponsoring our what is normally in our league race, the driver of the night, which will be the driver that makes it. So you have to make it to Charlotte and finish with the lowest incidents in the 3 races that we run tonight. So if you get eliminated in 1, you can't win that extra $20. If you get your team eliminated or you're the lowest point driver in 2, you can't get to Charlotte to earn that extra 20. And then they also put up the hard charger, which will be the driver that picks up the most ones. And both of them awards go to a driver that is not on the winning team. So that's $25 to 4 drivers and $20 to 2 more drivers. So that's $140 total on the line tonight.
Well, these drivers got just under 1 minute left of qualifying. Currently on the pole for tonight's race, we have Mark Jorgensen Jr., followed by Sean Boundy in second, with Dana Osborne in third, and Mitchell Reeves in 4th place, and Anderson coming out in 5th. So it looks like we've got a couple teammates already here in the top 5 for qualifying. As it now looks like that has changed. We've got Derek Walker now taking the pole away with a 53.627, but these drivers only got about 36 seconds left before they'll park these trucks and getting ready to grid.
Yeah, you're looking there. You got the 20 to 3 to 81. That's Derek Walker, Rodney Wolford, Mark Jorgensen. They're all dark horse incorporated drivers, and they're going to start out there at the front. And their next one, their 4th driver in that bunch is Kenny Holderman, and right now he's starting 9th. So looks like they got their guys up to the front to start this race off, and that's going to be very interesting because we know from watching these guys that they understand how to work with each other and run.
Yeah, we've got a few drivers in here. We've got definitely some very good drivers. We've got Jason Kinzer in here, Eric Braille. We've got some Southeast Motorsports with Dustin Lee and Mitchell Reeves. As you said, we've got some dark horse guys from the regular CRA series. We've got guys from all over the place that are definitely here wanting to win that $100, as qualifying has now finished, and these drivers are now getting ready to grid here to get started for the start of the race. We are going to give these drivers a few moments here to get in their trucks, get ready, before we go over your starting grid here at Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, and that's right, Dave. Let me go over the list of teams that we have in here tonight. We have Champion Performance Racing, Dark Horse Incorporated, Underground Racing Association. Southeast Motorsports actually has an 18-minute B team. How they decided that, I don't know, because that is 8 very good drivers. Underdog Motorsports, Lazy Day Racing. Let's see, Radical Racing, Rebel Jager, and OSRA Racing is all in here tonight, buying for that $140 purse.
Well, Dwayne, I am going to go ahead and start going over our grid here. In first place on the pole, we have the 20 of Derek Walker. 2 is outside will be the 3 of Rodney Wolford. Starting in third position, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. The 34 of Sean Boundy will be starting in fourth. Starting in fifth will be the 8 of Dana Osborne. Starting sixth, the 02 of Mitchell Reeves. The 33 of David Anderson starting seventh. The 89 of Roger Buff starting in eighth position. Starting in ninth will be the 31 of Kenny Holderman. The 23 of Gary Champions will be starting in 10th. Starting in 11th, the 32 of Dustin Lee. The 45 of Eddie Hawks will be starting in 12th position. Starting in 13th, the 78 of Donald Sandusky. The 77 of Jack Watts starting 14th. Starting 15th will be the 88 of Christopher Berry. The 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. starting in 16th. Starting 17th, the 29 of Matthew Walzenbach. The 96 of Jason Rudebush starting 18th. Starting 19th, the 10 of Mark A. Vega. Justin Levine in the 4 machine will be starting in 20th. Starting 21st, the 66 of Bobby Tinch. The 52 of Gregory Napier will be starting in 22nd. 23rd will be the 58 of James Peterson. Kevin 8W Hash in the 03 will be starting 24th. Starting 25th will be the 30 of Tyler Chalk. The 25 of John Napier will be starting in 26th. 27th will be Nick Reynolds in the 54 machine. The 38 of Jeff Figlin, 28th. 29th, the 76 of Jeff Martin. Starting in 30th, Roger Stewart. Raymond Rittenauer II starting 31st. Michael Jeans, 32nd. Paul Fugate, 33rd. Eric Braille in the 14 machine, 34th. 35th will be Sawyer Ott. Thomas LaBar, 36th. Starting 38th will be Eric Minch. Cody Blackmore starting 39th. Jason Kinger starting in 40th position. And starting in the final position will be the 24th of Kevin Tesmar.
Yeah, and one thing we didn't go over, Dave, in all 3 races tonight, there is a mandatory 2-tire stop. So it's not just going to be green flags out there. These guys are going to have to stop at some point for 2 tires minimum in each race tonight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to go green flag racing here as these cars are coming out of turn 4. These trucks, I'm sorry, are coming out of turn 4. They are waiting on that pace car to dip off. Here as we are being led by the 20 of Derek Walker. As the pace car gets ready, dips off the pit road. Walker keeps him at pace speed. Ronnie Wolford on the outside. The 34, Sean Boundy, is getting close to that bumper as they are now coming through the dogleg, waiting on that green flag to fly. Green flag flies, and off they go, ladies and gentlemen, as the 20 of Derek Walker gets a good run, but so does the 3 of Rodney Wolford, as he is going to pull out to a slight edge over Derek Walker here coming into turn number 1.
Yeah, and I'll be really surprised if Rodney don't try to get down in front of his teammate there, the 20 truck of Derek Walker, and go from there. But it looks like that outside line is kind of falling back just a little bit, which is not good news for Dark Horse up front because you know they want to line him up. Sean Bounty is all over the 3 trying to get him a run on that outside there.
Yeah, as we know, Dwayne, these guys, I would not be surprised to see some 3 and 4 wide racing. Even though this is just a short stint of 30 laps here at Talladega, these drivers want to do as best as they can. It looks like Dark Horse has got a pretty good start, having 3 of their drivers here in the top 4 up front. So they have definitely got a good start for their team as these guys are battling out. You have the 8 of Dana Osborne currently running back in 5th position, who is all over the back bumper of the 81 of Jorgensen Jr., who is all over the 20 of Derek Walker.
Yeah, Jorgensen going to push Derek, and I'll be surprised they're not going to try to pass each other and set it up. I mean, you got the 3 top spots, which is going to be the 3 as highest points going into the next round. The only bad news is if they finish in that order, they're going to start at the back of that next field, so they will have to race in that race. we got that outside coming out. Now watch Rodney. He's going to try to dump down in there. There he goes. He's in front of Derek Walker, taking it and leaving. And Sean Bounty had to know that was going to happen. That's why he was backing up and picking up the 0-2 of Mitchell there so that he could get a run on that outside also.
Oh, definitely. We know that 0-2 of Mitchell Reeves is a great driver, but he is up here by himself here. As I don't see any of his teammates. We do have the 32 of Dustin Lee, who is Southeast Motorsports, currently running back in 14th. So he is up here representing Southeast Motorsports, running here right behind, pushing that bumper of Sean Bounty.
Yeah, the Southeast, though, you can't count them out. I've been in plenty of races with them, and I think I have them split up and spread out through the field, and before you know it, they're back together at the end of the race. So we can't count them guys out. And then they got two of them, so they're basically you got two teams that can work together on that track. They're just not allowed to be in the same channel and talk to each other. But they will figure out how to communicate that. The back line is falling off, and notice how many guys are falling back there, which is really shocking me, and the team's going to be eliminated after this race.
Well, Dwayne, they might be considering that they're going to just fall back a little bit here. They're probably expecting the big one, as we are used to seeing here at the plate track, restrictor plate races. But these guys are running real steady lines as you see them getting down on the guys underneath of them, doing a little side drafting there, as the 34 Bounty is getting up to the door of Rodney Woodford as he is propelling on that outside. It definitely looks like the outside is the place to be.
Yeah, that outside, we all know it. That's the line of it. You know, the problem is once he dumps down there to the inside, that checks everybody up on that inside. So, and you see them all keying the radio up and saying that they're checking up, they're checking up. But Mitchell loves that because that gives him that clean air with David Anderson and Dana Osborne pushing him.
Well, I do see there's another one of his teammates. I'm not sure if it's which team they're on, but you have the 8 of Dana Osborne just one truck behind there of Mitchell Reeves. I also saw Jack Watts back there. So he's got some Southeast guys that are catching up here as these guys are pushing. But we are going to go back here in a little bit in the pack here. Going back into 20 and take a look at Mark Vega, who's currently running back in a pack by himself here. They have kind of fell off pace there as they've got 3 trucks in line and 2 on the outside. These guys are going to have to get single file here if they want to catch that lead pack.
Yeah, they do. They got to get it up there, and they got to line up and stop racing side by side. We got 3 wide up front. Dana Osborne cutting through the middle, pushing Rodney. But, you know, I'm going to cover out Southeast Motorsports. Regular team is Nick Reynolds in the 54, Dustin Lee, Tyler Chalk, and Jack Watts. The A team, oh, there's a wreck on the field. 34 got clipped, it looked like.
Well, Dwayne, we are going to key up our Dre Broadcasting Network replay here. We are going to focus on that 34 of Sean Bounty here to see if we can see exactly what happened and what caused that wreck, because we definitely saw he was involved in that.
Looks like the 89 come down a little bit and just got him just a little bit in the rear end.
Well, as we focus on that machine there of Sean Bounty here, as it looks like he was running up front there in front of the 3 here, as we are just waiting to see exactly what occurred here. But that was highly unfortunate, as it looks like the 3 of Rodney Wolford tried to go to that outside and pushed Mitchell Reeves up. So these guys were going 3 wide here into turn number 3 and 4, as we see Sean Bounty running right next to that yellow line there. As we see the 8 of Dana Osborne there pushing the 3 of Rodney Woodford. The 89 coming up, getting door to door with Sean Bounty. As that bottom line's getting a little loose there, the 89 comes down and starts squeezing a little bit. Looks like Sean Bounty had nowhere to go as the 89 was just not giving him room and caused that wreck. And is taken out. Let's see, the 29 of Walzenbach was also involved in that. Highly unfortunate.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but, you know, they got to get out there, they got to get points, and, you know, one of the rules that we don't normally have in a normal league race is if you're at fault, then you are automatically black flagged for 1 lap, and race control is notifying the 89 that he is black flagged for 1 lap. So he has been deemed to be at fault in that accident and will have to go down 1 lap minimum.
Well, just depending on the amount of cautions, that may not put him out here, but we still are on lap 6 here. We do have 24 laps to go, as it looks like some of the leaders are all making their way down on the pit road here as we speak.
Yeah, now we got everybody coming down. They're either going to use their quick repair, but they're going to go ahead, majority of them going to go down and go ahead and wipe out that, 2-tire stop. That way it's out of it. Yeah, they're all fitting in now. They're all getting clarification on the 2-tire rule, and they said at any point it can be green, it can be red, it can be whatever.
Well, we did see everybody come down into pit road here. I'm just looking here through my stats. It looks like everybody has come down on the pit road except for, looks like the 00, Eric Minich. I think he actually has come down onto pit road here, so no, he has not. The 00, Eric Minch, has not came down on the pit road just yet.
Yeah, 10-4, I think he's trying to stay out a little bit more.
Well, Dwayne, we're definitely going to see some strategies here. As you said, this is a team event tonight. These guys are battling to win $100 for their team. That's $25 a driver, as these teams are required to have 4 drivers per team.
Yeah, and I'm showing Eric Minch and Thomas LeBar. Neither one of them has gone down. And Cody Blackman, Raymond Rittenauer, Jeff Martin, Michael Jeans, Eric Barlow, none of them have pitted yet.
Yeah, we got a whole list of drivers that still have not pitted, but Raymond Rittenauer, Donald Sandusky, or Michael Jeans have now made their way down on the pit road for their pit stop. Looks like they just kind of wanted to stay out here and try to get towards the back. The Cody Blackmore still has not pitted. He's got 9 laps on his tires. Also, Eric Braille has not pitted as well. So these drivers are going to have to pit. So we've got 3 drivers that'll still have to make 1 pit stop.
Yep, and I guess they're going to try to run up front for a little while, and then hopefully they have some wrecks in behind. It's not going to cost them have to worry about it, because, yeah, I think I would have went down at the same time everybody else did, Dave, and go ahead and get my 2-tire stop out of the way.
Oh, most definitely here, considering that they are going to be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel. So I think under caution would have probably been the best place to get down on the pit road, get your 2 tires, get back out, just in case we do go green flag racing the remainder of the race.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to come all down to strategy. They're staying out there, but, if they're going to stay out there and run it, then, they know what they're planning. I mean, these guys aren't stupid. They know how to run these races and plan these races, and who knows, they might end up going down and pitting as soon as the green flag comes out that first lap, and then if you think about it, they'll be a little fresher on tires, and then they'll be away from everybody else, and with the lucky dog in effect, they can easily get back up there.
Oh, most definitely here is the pace car still has its lights on as they are now coming out of turn number 4. We are on lap 8 of 30 with 22 laps remaining. So it'll be interesting to see how this strategy is going to play out here. As you said, we have a few drivers that still need to pit, but we have just about everybody else through the field here has came out. We are being led by the 3 of Rodney Wolford, who is still leading, as it looks like the lights on the pace car are, well, he's getting right across the start finish. I do believe we will be going back green flag racing.
Yeah, what's funny is I'm looking at the 3 highest guys that hasn't pitted: Cody Blackman, and he's on Lazy Dave Racing; Jeff T. Martin, which is on Southeast Motorsports A team; and Eric Burrell, which is Eric is on Lazy Day. So we got 2 of the Lazy Day guys up there close to each other that didn't pit. So yeah, there's got to be a strategy in there with that. That's the only reason they wouldn't. And then you throw in Eric Minch. So yeah, Lazy Day is working strategies already, just because we know they haven't pitted yet, so we can see they're working some kind of strategy.
Oh, most definitely here, as they are now on the backstretch. Looks like the 81 of Jorgensen Jr. is going to be to the outside of Rodney Wolford. And right behind Rodney Wolford is going to be David Anderson with Christopher Berry on the outside, right behind Jorgensen Jr. As the pace car now brings them here into turn number 3. They are keeping up pace speed of 80 mile an hour, getting ready to go back green flag racing here at Talladega Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and you got dog carts up there on the front. They're going to try to get down there, and Chris Berry, he ain't got no help up there right now, so he's going to be trying to hang on to the best of them that he could. And, you know, David Anderson, I don't see much of his teammates around him either, so he's pretty much, but he's familiar with Chris Berry, so I wouldn't be surprised if them two didn't try to link up, even though they're not on the same team for this race.
Oh, most definitely, as the pace car now brings them out of turn number 4. We are getting ready to go back green flag racing here at Talladega Super Speedway as the pace car brings them through the dogleg and makes that hard left into pit road. The 3 of Rodney Wolford keeps them at pace speed as they are bunched up tight here, ready to go back green flag racing here, where we're just waiting on the green flag. Green flag flies. Rodney Wolford puts that pedal down, but so does the 81 of Jorgensen, who seems to get a really good run there on the outside, but I don't think he's going to have enough to clear Wolford as they come into turn number 1.
Yeah, I think he should have communicated to the 88 because he got such an awesome jump on there. And if he would have had the 88 with him, it would have given him enough momentum to pull down in front of his teammate in the 3 truck there. But now Chris Berry is pushing him up, and you know he's going to drop and leave him, which Chris Berry is glad because he has a 76 sitting there pushing him also.
Yeah, it looks like that outside line there, Dwayne's got more trucks in it. And as we know with these restrictor plates, the more vehicles you got in your line, the faster you're going to go. But it looks like it kind of evens out here as they are now coming through turns 3 and 4, coming back to the start-finish line. Does look like the 81 of Jorgensen is going to get a good run here through the dogleg. Question is he going to leave the 88 and jump down in front of Wolford, or is he going to stay on that outside line?
Yeah, look at the 31 of Kenny Holderman trying to push up through the middle and make it 3 wide toward the front. He's trying to get up there with his teammates too, being Derek Walker was caught up in that wreck.
Well, as you said, we are 3 wide here as it looks like the truck on the outside is going to get some assistance, but that is only a 2-truck push as it looks like Jorgensen has had the 3 of Wolford cleared by a little, but chose to stay up in the outside lane.
Well, you know, and you don't always have to hook up with your teammate to be able to work it. If you are the bottom car in the outside car, I'm making the same mistake you did, Dave. You are actually controlling that line, so you can determine who goes around and who doesn't go around and all that. And it works to your advantage if you're side by side.
Almost definitely here as we see that behind this lead pack, it looks like they have all gotten down into single file here. As we see a truck down on the apron as the leaders are coming by, he is going to hold it down below the apron and let this lead pack go. Not give them a fight here as we are checking out our wall cams as we are watching these trucks come past us at 193 plus mile an hour.
Yeah, you know, and everybody's saying, man, they're racing like it's the end of the race. Well, you got to remember, this is a 30-lap race, and we only have 17 laps left in this race, so this is not a normal length race. This is a, hey, NASCAR, you wanted segments, but guess what? Here we are. We're in segments. This is going to be segment 1, going to be over in 16 laps.
Well, Dwayne, now that you mentioned that, we are going to start seeing segment racing a lot more here on iRacing as we are getting closer and closer to the release of iRacing Dirt. And we do know that dirt racing is, we got the 33 off into the apron, and it looks like the yellow is going to come out.
Yeah, I seen him hit the apron there, and it looked like it kind of shot him up the track.
We are going to go back here to the Dre Broadcasting replay. We are going to focus on the 33 of David Anderson to see if we can see exactly what happened and what brought that out. Looks like coming into the turn, he gets down there right next to the yellow line here, coming through the dogleg. He has got the 84 machine right behind him of Cody Blackmore. As they come into turn number 1s and 2, he is trying to pinch that. Oh, it looks like the 84 actually got down on the apron and came up and gave him a little tap as we see the 33 truck spinning and flying through the air like a helicopter.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. The 84 kind of got a little low and bumped him and right there in the corner about the time the 33 got in. That's what sent it all crazy.
Well, Dwayne, as we were talking earlier, this is definitely going to help those drivers out that had not pitted here. It's going to keep them on the lead lap. They're going to get a chance to come down onto pit road here. And, I mean, they're going to lose some track positioning, but it looks like this may be the chance for Lazy Day Racing to get all their teammates bundled up together and make a charge through the field. As we have got 16 laps to go, we are on lap 14 of 30. We now have our second caution of the night.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is the 84 was one of them trucks. Cody Blackburn was one of them trucks that stayed out, was working that pit strategy, and guess what? He just got word from the tower. He is going to be black flagged. That fault in that accident, so that worked against him, trying to stay out there and work the pit strategy.
Well, we do see the leaders bringing everybody down onto pit road as the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. is bringing them down here onto pit road. So it looks like everybody is going to go ahead and come in and get some service. And as we see a few trucks start going up into the air, looks like just watching down the line, some are taking fuel, some are taking tires. So as we see the 81 of Jorgensen Jr. just take a splash of fuel and back out. Meanwhile, he is followed by the 3 of Wolford and another Dark Horse teammate.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see him. He went down there without the damage and went ahead and took pits, but, you know, that's what happens. These guys are still wanting to put them tires on there, and I don't think tires are going to be eat up that much, but...
Well, as you said, we did see Mark Jorgensen Jr. just take fuel, as that is going to hand the race lead over to the 24 of Kevin Tesmar.
Yeah, and Kevin is actually filling in for me tonight. I was supposed to be in this race and decided that I wanted to talk about the race instead of being out there wrecking with them guys, so Kevin took my spot tonight.
Well, Dwayne, then you must be real proud here. After starting 41st, he has made his way all the way up into first here, but he does have 9 laps on his tires, while it seems like almost everybody else behind him pitted. Let's see here, while I'm looking, it looks like Jeff Figlin has not pitted. Also, the 45 of Eddie Hawks did not pit. And the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer II also did not pit. They are running anywhere between 7 to 9 laps on their tires. But by the time we go back green flag racing, it looks like we're going to have about a 10-lap shootout.
Yeah, and if you think about the way iRacing does yellows, we only have about a 5-lap shootout by the time we go back. Because when that caution comes out with 5 to go, and we got Kevin going down pit lane, I guess he was just trying to pick up bonus points. But there is no bonus points tonight. It's all about finish.
Well, as we were watching him, he slid through his pit stall, so he did have to back that Silverado up to get back in, as it looks like he is taking right side tires. He is taking left side tires. He is taking 4 tires and a full tank of fuel.
Kevin is working some strategy. That means he's going to want to go up on that 3rd lane. He's taking 4 tires. He's making sure he got fresh tires and make a good run on that 3rd lane up top. And all he got to do is really find the 34 truck of Sean Bounty, because Bounty is actually the wall hugger in this series.
Oh, most definitely. We have seen him time again as we bring the Acrylic Art Super Truck Series normally on Saturday nights, but they have taken this week off, and that is why we are bringing you the Cyber Racing Association $100 Team Challenge special event here tonight at Talladega.
Well, Dave, why don't we take a commercial break and show the fans out there a little stuff and let them get a refreshment, or as my buddy Sean says when he's not here, copy that and get some popcorn.
Oh, most definitely, Dwayne. Well, ladies and gentlemen, get your refills of your drinks and your snacks, because when we come back, we are going to go back green flag racing. We will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Cyber Racing Association Team 100 here at Talladega, as we are watching the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. bringing these guys through turns 3 and 4 here. Dwayne, go ahead and take him to the green flag.
Jorgensen's kind of below the yellow right now, but he's going to line up there. He's got his teammate Kenny Holderman behind him. He's got Rodney Wolfer on the outside of him as the pace car is ducking off there. So all these guys really got to do is hold up here, and then they'll make up for Derek Walker, which is way at the back and telling everybody he's about to blow up. So the flag is up in the air, and we're just waiting. There it goes. It drops in. Rodney got a good run on the outside. That's the second time on the start that we've seen Rodney get a heck of a run with nobody helping him on the outside out there. But we'll see him control these lines and try to make it the last 11 laps with Dark Horse Inc. up in the front there.
Almost definitely here, as we see, we have got 12 laps to go. So we have 12 laps in this first lap segment here at Talladega, as the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. is keeping a good steady line on that outside with some help from the 76 machine. That looks like Jeff Martin there. So we have a Southeast Motorsports guy up here in the top 5, as he is pushing hard on that inside line.
Yeah, and we got Jeff, or is that Figman? No, they got different numbers tonight, so it's throwing me off on the number count. Yeah, that's Jeff Figman on the outside pushing Rodney, and you know, I know Jeff. I've raced with Jeff quite a bit. He'll be content to ride right there because he sees the big picture and knows he's got to get to Charlotte to have a chance at anything tonight.
Oh, most definitely here, as these guys are blistering at 190 plus mile an hour around this track. These guys are battling it out, as you said. We have 3 stigments here tonight, so these guys got to realize that they cannot push the issue and wreck out because they have a chance of not making it to round number 2, as it looks like Mark Jorgensen Jr., with the help of the 31, is getting a good push there on that bottom lane, as that we see a car kind of twigging out a little bit by internet connection, but Rodney Wolford is not giving up on that outside there, as we are 2 by 2 here, at least 10 rows back.
Yeah, that was Chris Berry there. And I know he wants to hold on to it, you know. And here's the thing that we've seen. Dark Horse is an awesome team. They work together, but when it comes down toward the end of the race, they race each other harder than anybody else, and sometimes they wreck each other. I think Chris Bassini, the owner of that team, has paid for more trucks than they've wrecked at the end of the race. So let's see if they just want to ride side by side, or if Kenny Holderman says, hey, let's take it 3 wide and cross that line.
Well, Dwayne, I don't know if they're going to do that. I'm sure they understand the big picture here. It's not about who wins the race. It's where your entire team finishes. So this is not a one-driver event. This is a whole team event. But they are running side by side here. It looks like Rodney Wolford is in no hurry to get around and jump in front of the 81 of Jorgensen. It looks like he is just up there controlling that outside lane, as we have got 3 Dark Horse guys here in the top 5.
Yeah, and I'm looking farther back in the field where they're trying to gain points. It looks like they're 3 wide back there, and you know, they're coming up on a lap car, so they're going to have to get back in line because that lap car is going to the outside.
We see the 23 of Gary Champion jumping up to help them, as they've now got 5 trucks on that outside line here, as we are 9 laps to go, so they are making a push here, trying to go. And as it looks like the 8 of Dana Osborne thought about going up here, but decided to stay in that middle lane. But it doesn't seem like that outside lane here, as we are about to go 4 wide through the dog leg. Nope, it looks like they are going to jump back down and go back 2 wide.
Yeah, and that's a perfect spot because you can go actually 5 wide through the dog leg. So, you know, they got to that lap traffic at the exact spot that they needed to, because they were trying to pick up points, and instead of just falling back in line there, they were able to take it a little 3 wide there. It did drop some of them back, but, you know, that was a comment to race control, because normally in our cyber racing league, with less than 10 to go, you have to clear the track for the leaders. This tournament series, you only have to give the leaders the bottom 2 lanes.
Well, it looks like they are going to put the 20 of Derek Walker a lap down here, as he is holding against that wall, letting these guys go by, as they are now still single file here, as we are still being led by the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., with the 3 of Rodney Wolford on the outside. Kenny Holderman's right on the back bumper of Jorgensen, and we have the 76 of Jeff T. Martin from Southeast Motorsports rounding out your top 5 here. We also got the 38 of Jeff Figlin currently running in 4th position.
Yeah, and you know, I know Shay, Derek Walker, the 20 Trucks sister, watches all of his races, but don't worry, Shay, because of his 3 teammates being up there in the top 5, you know, Derek's going to advance to that next round, almost guaranteed, unless something happens here and they back out toward the end. Because right now, they're in an advancement spot just by staying up front of this field.
Looky there, Dwayne, you spoke about it earlier, the 34, Sean Bounty, who you normally refer as the wall hugger, is making a charge there on the outside lane, but looks like the 8 of Dana Osborne is going to get up in front of him. Also, the 38 machine is going to run that outside line as he jumps down into the middle lane here, as we have now got 6 laps to go, running 3 wide here in the back.
Yeah, and the only guys that are really liking that right now is the 81 and the 9 of Kenny Holderman, because, well, now they're called back up. At one point, they were just out in front of all them guys. The middle lane seems to have a heck of a run coming up there, as we got 2 trucks that cleared the 81 truck, and we got Dana Osborne, Jeff Figlin on the outside. So if everybody can hold it, we can finish this under green 3 wide, which would be an exciting finish to start tonight off.
Oh, most definitely, as it looks like that outside lane is, we lost a driver to went back down into the inside. So it looks like Jeff Figlin and Dana Osborne are waiting for some help from behind them, as it looks like the 13 machine, I do believe that's Jason Kinzer there, is making his way up into trying to get to that back bumper of Dana Osborne, as they are just holding their own too deep there on that 3rd lane. But it looks like Rodney Wolford is making a good run there on the middle lane, as there's a little bit gap there on the bottom.
Yeah, 10-4, and the 31 is pushing hard on the 81, but you know, you see the outside line catching up, but Dana is not tucked underneath Jeff Figlin's back bumper, which is causing them to drop back about time they get a run. I don't know if it's because Dana is getting hot or what, but he's backing off about every time they get a run on that outside, which is killing them. You know, we're coming up on 3 to go. Chris Berry's going to jump out there and see if he can do something and get around Roger.
Yeah, it looks like Sean Bounty's got a little gap between him and the 3 of Rodney Wolford, as the 88 machine of Christopher Berry is actually, they're going 4 wide with a lap car in the turn, but it looks like they are going to clear in good. These guys are now definitely battling out with 4 laps to go, as we've got the 81 of Jorgensen, the 3 of Rodney Wolford, and the 88 of Christopher Berry running 3 wide here for the lead. It looks like the 88 of Berry is going to edge.
Oh, they're wrecking.
Oh, big wreck on the turn.
I'm trying to see here, Dave, who it was. It was about middle of the pack. It looks like the outside car come up and got it. About 4th car. It was a truck behind Dana Osborne. It come down a little bit and hit somebody sideways.
Well, we are going to focus on that 13 of Jason Kinzer from the blimp view to see if we can see exactly what happened, as they were running 3 wide there on that outside, as these guys were battling it out. Unfortunately, Dwayne, this is going to freeze the field. This race is going to end under the yellow flag. But as we are watching our replay, it looks like they are going 4 wide with the lap car was able to safely let them by. But as they were coming down the backstretch, they were bunched up nice and tight.
Yeah, they were all nice and tight, and Jason got just a little squirrely there and started that, which is, you know, could be bad news for Jason. We have to see how the points lined out, because Jason was up in the 7th spot, and now he's going to be black flagged and moved 1 lap down, so he'll end up no better than 30th out of this.
Well, from the replay there, Dwayne, it looked like the 13 and the 78 truck kind of made contact. Looked like 13 kind of came down a little bit. The 78 of Donald Sandusky may have came up a little bit. That's going to be on race control to look at, but looks like Jason Kinzer was able to make it through. So right now, it looks like the 3 of Rodney Wolford is going to take the win here at Talladega, followed by the 88 of Christopher Berry in 2nd. The 34 of Sean Bounty will come in 3rd. The 38 of Jeff Figlin will finish in 4th, and the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. will round out your top 5.
Yeah, and that's pretty much going to lock this field the way it is right there. So, you know, the only thing that will change.
Well, we are going to focus on that 13 of Jason Kinzer from the blimp view to see if we can see exactly what happened, as they were coming down the backstretch. They were bunched up nice and tight.
Jason got just a little squirrely there and started that, which is, you know, could be bad news for Jason. We have to see how the points lined out, because Jason was up in the 7th spot, and now he's going to be black flagged and moved 1 lap down, so he'll end up no better than 30th out of this. Yeah, the only thing that's going to change is 13.
Well, as we are looking at the 0-2 of Mitchell Reeves, who is shutting his truck on and off as it is smoking. Here he's trying to make sure he can get it around to finish this race without losing position. But you can definitely tell when he starts that truck up, it is smoking, so he was involved in that accident. He is currently running back in.
He looks like a mosquito truck coming through the neighborhood. It's squirting out smoke, and then it stops, and then it squirts out smoke, and then stops. You know, it looks like he's spraying for mosquitoes out there, but he's trying to nurse it to the end there because he needs to get across that line.
Oh yeah, he's trying to finish it because this would give him a top 10 finish, as he is currently running back in 9th position. So this would definitely be much needed there for Southeast Motorsports, as it looks like the nearest Southeast Motorsports driver that I can see is going to be the 88 of Michael G's running out in 11th. So he is going to need to try to get in there. Once this race goes finished, we are going to get an interview with tonight's race leader of tonight's race, which actually it looks like it is going to be the 88 of Christopher Berry, as he is now being scored ahead of the 3 of Rodney Wolford.
Yeah, we got Rodney out front. He's going to take the check flag. So I got Chris Berry. Looks like he's going to end up wrapping this one up at first, and he made his move about the right time.
Yes, they now took the white flag, so it does look like Christopher Berry is going to win our first segment here tonight. Once he crosses the start-finish line, we are going to focus on him, see a smoke show. We are going to try to get an interview tonight with our race leader of our winner of our first segment, the 88 of Christopher Berry.
Yeah, we got guys all over asking each other to get out of the way because they're about to blow up. Mitchell he is nursing that truck, and all he's got to do is make it a couple more turns. So we're going to have Chris Berry take round number 1, Rodney Wilford of Dark Horse get round number 2. Jeff Figlin of OSR TV, Sean Downey of Rebel Racing, and Dana Osborne from, I believe, Champion Performance Racing. So we got quite a bit of mixture up here in the front.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, once we finish up our interview with the winner of segment number 1, the 88 of Christopher Berry, we are going to have about a 10 to 15 minute intermission. So that'll give you a chance to go stretch your legs and get snacks. And then we will be back for round 2 at Daytona. It'll be a 35-lap segment, as it looks like the 88 of Christopher Berry is now coming through the dog leg here, getting ready to take the checkered flag for segment number 1 here in the CRA $100 Team Challenge.
Yeah, Chris Berry's getting congratulations from his teammates on taking the first one.
Well, we are going to focus on that 88 of Christopher Berry. Watch him give us a smoke show while we try to get him up in here for an after-race interview. Just bear with us one moment, folks, and we will have the segment 1 winner with us when we return. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As we saw the 88 of Christopher Berry lighting those tires up, we have him with us here tonight. How about you, Chris? You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
What a race. Go ahead and give us a replay. What was going through your mind that last lap there as you were 3 wide battling for that win?
Don't wreck pretty much because it was pretty tight. I didn't want to wreck and, cause everybody else to wreck. Plus, I wanted to win, but I didn't think I was going to get it on the outside like that. But it was fun.
Oh, it was definitely fun for all the fans to watch at home as we saw you just edge out the 3 of Wadney Wolford and the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. to take segment 1 win. Does your team have any specific strategy going into the second segment, or do you want to keep that top secret?
Not that I know of. Like, basically, super speedway, it changes a lot. And you can work with your teammates sometimes, and sometimes you have to work with other people. So, basically, it's, dodge the wrecks and hopefully get another win.
Oh, most definitely. And well, Chris, before we let you go and get ready for the next segment, is there any last shout outs or any thank yous you want to send out there?
Just Dwayne for putting on this awesome event, and my teammates for helping me out. Also like to give out shout out to Jeff Biglin. He pushed me a lot there towards the end, and that's about it. And y'all guys for broadcast.
I got a question for you, Chris, before you clear out of here. Being you won this race, you are starting dead last the next race. So what's going to happen there? What's your game plan there?
Probably sit in the back for the first caution. I mean, if we have one, hopefully we do. And let the wreck kind of weed out the field a little bit, and then try to drive my way through there afterwards.
Yeah, 10-4 on that.
Well, Chris, congratulations on winning segment 1 for you and your team, and we will catch you up hopefully in the next segment as we are going to let you go back down there and celebrate with your teammates. So once again, congratulations on your segment 1 win.
Thanks, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was segment 1, so we are going to take a little break here. We will have about a 10-15 minute intermission in between rounds, so stick with us as we are going to play you some music here. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back here in about 10 minutes for 10 to 15 minutes for segment 2. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for segment 2 of the CRA $100 Team Challenge here at Daytona International Speedway. Once again, I am your announcer, Dave Everly. I am joined by league owner and my co-commentator, Dwayne Cooper.
All right, here we are. We're back, and let's run down the team standings as we go back live on the air here. Sitting in first place, Champion Performance Racing with 111 points. Sitting second, Southeast Motorsports, A Team. Sitting third, Rebel Jager Racing. Sean Bounty, Mr. Wallhogger, is on that team with balls and back. They're 101 points. In fourth place is Dark Horse Inc., which had dominated that race there, but they had some problems at the end. Then we have OSRA TV, or Racing, I'm sorry there, Jeff. They're 94 points. Radical Racing is 89 points. Southeast second team is 70 points. Underdog Racing is 64, and Lazy Day is 60. Remember, fans, one team will be eliminated from this race in the lowest point. So the weak link on every team will not race to Charlotte and will not have a chance at earning the money.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, here in the second segment, we do not have a qualifying position. Basically, the finishing results from our first segment is going to be inverted. So the winner, the Chris Berry there, is going to be starting dead last tonight. And the driver that finished dead last in the previous segment will get the pole. And I do believe, Sean, that is going to be the 29 of Matthew Wolzenbach, if I'm not correct.
What was that? I'm sorry, Dave. I was sitting there taking a drink of beer here, and I didn't hear you.
I was just telling the fans about how we are not doing qualifying this segment. The results from the first segment is going to be inverted, and that is going to be our starting order, and that is going to put the 29 of Matthew Wolzenbach on the pole.
Yeah, Matt finished dead last, but for him, he gets to start this third lap race up in the front there, which is actually going to be good for him, you know. But the problem is you're going to have a lot of guys in the back that are really, really fast. You know, our winner, Chris Berry, is going to start dead last in this field, and he doesn't want to be there because they don't want to be eliminated, and Chris and his team wants to get to that next round, so they need to be moving up through this, and they only have 35 laps to do it. Well, Dave, we got them gridding up on the field out here. You got your thing up and want to go through the grid?
Yep, I can pull that up real quick here. Looks like the 29 of Matthew Wolzenbach will take the pole for this race. The 77 of Jack Watts will be starting on the outside. Starting in third position will be the 52 of Gregory Napier. The 13 of David Anderson will be finishing starting fourth. Starting fifth, the 76 of Jeff T. Martin. The 31 of Kenny Holderman will be starting in sixth. Starting seventh, the 00 of Eric Mitch. The 20 of Derek Walker will be starting in eighth position. Starting ninth, the 58 of James Peterson. Starting 10th, the 10 of Mark Vega. The 303 of Kevin Hash starting 11th. The 32 of Dustin Lee starting 12th. Starting 13th, Artie Peterson. 14th, John Napier. Starting 15th, Eric Braille. Starting 16th, Roger Stewart. 17th, Tyler Chalk. 18th, Paul Fugate. Starting 19th, Bobby Tench. Starting 20th, Nick Reynolds. Starting 21st, Sawyer Ott. 22nd will be Gary Champion. 23rd, Donald Sandusky. 24th, Kevin Tesmar. 25th, Raymond Rittenauer II. 26th, Eddie Hawks. 27th, Jason Rudebush. 28th will be the 08 of Michael Jeans. Starting 29th, the 02 of Mitchell Reeves. Starting 30th, the 8 of Dana Osborne. Starting in 31st will be the 81 of Mark Jorgensen. The 34, Sean Boundy, starting 34th. 33rd will be Jeff Figlin. 34th, Rodney Wolford. And in our final starting position of the night, the 88 of Christopher Berry, starting 35th.
I think that's the worst starting spots we've ever seen Dark Horse at any race that we've ever broadcast. or watch them race. So it's going to be interesting because we know they work together and they get up front. We got 2 of them mid-pack and the other 2 at the back of the field. So this should be interesting as we get ready to go on this restart or on the start of the race for 35 laps at Daytona.
Oh, most definitely here as they are now exiting turn 4, coming through the dog leg. Lights on the pace car are off. They're waiting for it to dip down. It dips down onto pit road. The 29 of Matthew Walzenbach gets the green flag. He jumps on that throttle, gets a good run over the 77 of Jack Watts as they come through the dog leg as they are battling it out. But Jack Watts has some help and is catching the 29 of Matthew Walzenbach as they are now getting ready to start entering turn number 1.
Yes, they're heading, and Matt got a heck of a start. And I'm looking around at the drivers up here, and I'm seeing a lot of Southeast Motorsport guys, and I'm kind of wondering if they didn't lay back to get the jump on this one. Because, that's the team that I'm going to really watch when we go to Charlotte, because they run that track. The majority of these other drivers in here run super speedways every week, but Southeast Motorsports, they run Charlotte, and they run it quite often, so that should be interesting to see how they come out of here and get ready for that race.
Oh, most definitely here, Dwayne. And I'm also looking at the Dre Broadcasting Network chat here. Looks like Shay Walker has joined us. Amanda Stewart has joined us. Carol Winnikoff has joined us. We got Lauren ME3. We've got a lot of people out here rooting on their favorite drivers as these guys are battling out. We are on lap 1 of 34 laps to go. We are currently being led by the 77 of Jack Watts, but looks like the 13 machine there is getting a good run on the outside of David Anderson as he is getting a good push there by Kenny Holderman on the outside, but he's just not enough to clear the 77 of Jack Watts.
Yeah, Jack's holding that bottom down very well with Matthew, our pole setter that inherited the pole just by finishing dead last. And Matt doesn't want to be the low man on his team, so he needs to get some good points in this one, or he might not be racing in Charlotte. But this is famous Dave is out there. David Anderson in the 13 truck is bringing them from the outside, and he's got that lead on that outside. So he's got if he can hold that momentum up, he's got a good chance of leading this lap. But nope, Jack's bringing that black truck of Southeast Motorsports back up on the bottom. So it's going to be a race to the line to see who leads it. Now remember, there's no bonus points for leading the lap. There's no bonus points for winning. Nothing but straight up finish points is the only way you collect points. So it doesn't matter if you lead a lap, you've got to finish the race.
Well, we saw the 13 of David Anderson jump down in front of the 77 of Jack Watts, leaving the 31 of Kenny Holderman out on that second lane. But he does have the 76 of Jeff T. Martin, who I do know and is a great driver, as he is pushing Kenny Holderman, trying to get up around. But these drivers are definitely knowing here as I'm looking through our top 10. We've got some good drivers up here. Artie Peterson's up here, currently running in 7th position. We have Matthew Walzenbach has dropped back into 5th. Kevin Hash is currently running in 7th position. We got the 58 of James Peterson running in 12th. Dustin Lee running in 13th. We've got some drivers already making some good runs in the back. As you said, that we have the 3 of Rodney Wolford, who started in 34th position, has already gained 10 spots and moved all the way up into 24th spot. Oh, as we got a wreck on the back, but we are still under green flag. It did not bring out the yellow.
We got one spinning down pit road here. Looked like Dana Osborne went for a spin.
Well, they got it down below the white line, so the officials did not throw the yellow. That is going to put the 8 of Dana Osborne. Hopefully you didn't get a speeding penalty for spinning out on pit road as we see him now rolling off of pit road. It doesn't look like that truck is too damaged, but that is going to set him back here as he is definitely dropped that thing as he is getting hard on that throttle. But we are still being led by David Anderson up front in the 13 machine with Kenny Holderman trying to make a move on the outside.
Yeah, and what I'm noticing on that outside is Kenny Holderman loves to, and all the dark horses loves to pinch down. I've raced with Kenny, so if I'm behind him, I'm kind of expecting that. Whereas the 76, I've raced with Jeff Martin before too. Jeff doesn't pinch that much. He gives room down on the bottom. So you notice how Jeff is sliding out every corner and not pinching down. And Kenny's all over that radio telling him to pinch, but you got 2 different driving styles, 2 different drivers that doesn't normally race with each other. So they kind of have to fill each other out here. That's why that middle lane goes forward and then backwards. But just keep an eye on that 76. See how he slides up coming into the corner and hold him in a little lower down. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that's his style of racing compared to Kenny's style of racing.
Well, Dwayne, we can also take into effect that's definitely a good way to keep your truck from overheating, as he keeps dipping out, getting that fresh air under the hood, definitely lowering that temperature. So that's one way of keeping your truck, make sure that it's not going to overheat and motor blow. As we are now on lap 6 of 35, David Anderson has led the last 5 laps here, as it looks like Jeff Martin gets a little to the outside there. Looks like he thought about going 3 wide on Kenny Holderman, but right back down underneath of him.
Yeah, and it's not aggressive by Kenny. It's just that's his style of racing. He works the side draft, whereas Jeff is content with just running out there and being toward the end. So it's kind of compared to real life Brad Kawasaki and Kevin Harvick. Kevin is smooth and make sure he's at the end, and Brad will just smack run over and do whatever he's got to do, make 3 wide, 5 wide, whatever to get to the front. So that's the comparison between the two there. And both of them are excellent drivers. I've raced with both of them, and they are excellent drivers. I mean, I don't think there's anybody in this field, because you're not in it, Dave, so I wouldn't say any bad drivers are here.
Oh, most definitely. I've hit my share of walls here at Daytona, that's for sure. As we go back here into the field, last segment winner, the 88 of Christopher Berry, looks like he has lost the draft. He does have the 45 of Eddie Hawks there behind him, with the 34 of Sean Bounty trying to catch up. But they are currently running back 24th, 25th, and 26th position. But they are only a 3-truck field back there, as they have lost that draft from our lead pack.
Yeah, and I'll give you a comparison. Okay, Chris Berry is at the back, so he's going to get 4 points for being back there, which will give him 47 points. Matthew Walzenbach is in the front. So if Matt pulls off the win, Matt's going to have the exact same amount of points as Chris Berry, and Chris Berry won the race. So, the points are here, and it matters where you finish. So these guys have to. You see, Dana gave them room and went to the high side because he's got to collect that point. He's got to get points. They want to get to Charlotte. Otherwise, they don't have a chance at $100, much less the two $20 awards that are up by Radical Racing.
Well, going a little back here in our lead pack, we are following the 02 of Mitchell Reeves, who is currently running in 18th position. Looking around him, though, he's got the 32 of Dustin Lee there. I do see a few other. We got the 8 of Dana Osborne, who has gone a lap down. Also with the 23 of Gary Champion, always also being a lap down. So we have got a pretty good mix of those fast guys that made their way up into the top 20 now here, as we see Rodney Wolford and everybody still trying to keep up with that top pack, as we are still being led by the 13 of David Anderson.
Yeah, and what I noticed in this race, we're on lap 10, which is 25 to go in this race, and they're side by side, and it really looks like they're a lot more content. I don't know if it's because we put the faster guys at the back, because I see Rodney weaving in and out, or what, but these guys up front are pretty content with running side by side and just racing like they are, which Dave, if you and I are on that front row and we got the fast guys way at the back, all we got to do is just run side by side. We don't need to race each other and keep them back there. They can't get around us if we control the front.
Oh, most definitely. I do see the only way these guys are going to be able to make any moves on these leaders is we are going to see some 3-wide racing. Unfortunately, here at Daytona, it is not as wide as at Talladega. You can do 3 and even 4 wide here at Daytona, but it is a little bit more cramped than it is, say, at Talladega there, Dwayne.
Yeah, I think when we'll really see the racing is when we start getting the guys that Chris Berry and Rodney Wolford and the rest of them that, Jeff Figlin, Sean Bounty, them guys that had to start in the back that we know are fast, that show up fast, they run fast each week. When they start getting toward that middle of the pack, that's when we'll start seeing, like we see them now, forming up 3 wide and start working that outside line. And that's when the inside guys, that, I'm not saying they're not fast, but, in that last race, the luck of the draw, they ended at the back there. So they're just trying to ride and make up points. They need these points.
Well, as you said, we do see the 10 of Mark Vega in that GoDaddy Silverado, trying to go 3 wide as he is getting to the door of Dustin Lee. He does have some help from the 14 of John Napier in that Toyota Tundra truck, but that's all they have is 2 trucks on the outside, but they are holding their own pretty well. But it looks like the 14 of Napier is going to leave Mark A. Vega out to dry, as he is going to be the only one in the 3rd row. Up, the 14 of Napier moves down into that inside, but looks like Mark Vega is not going to take that opening, but he does have another truck behind him. And taking a look here, it is going to be the 66 truck is going to jump up there and give him a hand of Bobby Tinch. So he does have another truck. Oh, he gets a little squiggly, hits the wall, but saves it. Oh, we got more contact between him and Dustin Lee, and the yellow is going to come out.
Yep, and this is when we see them guys in the back that, you know, we're scrambling around and racing in the back. I've seen a couple of them come back up and hit on there, so they're going to have to try to use that quick repair and get out there and collect points.
Well, we are going to go to our Dre Broadcasting Network replay. We are going to focus on the 10 of Mark Vega, as we've seen him wheeling and dealing, but unfortunately he did get into with the 32 of Dustin Lee and bring out that caution. But as we are watching, as we said before, it is real narrow here, even running 3 wide. But he did a good job at definitely trying to save that truck, but that is definitely going to shake up his field as we are on our first caution here on lap 13. Looking at the replay, we see the 10 of Mark Vega, the 66 of Bobby Tinch making a good run on that outside. You see the 10 of Mark A. Vega working that wheel there as he is working right beside the 32 of Dustin Lee. Oh, it looks, I couldn't tell, it looked like maybe some contact between the 66 and the 10. Got him a little squiggly, and that is going to collect a lot of trucks behind him.
Yeah, and you know what I'm noticing, Dave, and this is the bad thing that happens here, is that all started when the 32 truck come underneath the 10 truck of Mark Vega there. There was a little bit of netcode enough to fishtail the 10 truck and hit him into the wall. So, you know, I'm sure, yeah, there it is. Race control has ruled it as netcode and blamed it on iRacing. So iRacing is going to be black flagged for 1 lap.
Well, Dwayne, look at this. It looks like every driver has come down onto pit road except for the 2 trucks that are a lap down. So they are going to get a wave around. That is going to be the 23 of Gary Champion and the 24 of Kevin Tesmar, as we see Dustin Lee and Dana Osborne down on pit road there for multiple laps down.
Yeah, they are. And Dave, I want to hear what race control is saying here. So you want to take us to a commercial break here, and let me hear what race control, and then we can let them know, our fans know what happened.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the CRA $100 Team Challenge. We are on segment 2 here at Daytona International. We are currently being led by the 13 of David Anderson. And Dwayne, have you got word from the race officials?
Yes, the race officials looked at that and determined that when the 3 wide was happening, that iRacing decided to fishtail the 10 truck, and iRacing has been penalized a black flag, and we'll have to serve it underneath green for creating netcode and online racing.
Oh, most definitely. Here is we are now back 1 to green as these drivers are starting to bunch it up double wide. Here we got the 13 of David Anderson still leading, the 77 of Jack Watts with Southeast Motorsports on the outside, the 76 of Jeff T. Martin starting in that 3rd position, and the 29 of Matthew Walzenbach starting on the outside right behind Jack Watts.
Yeah, we noticed Kenny Holderman's not up here with him, so he might drop back to try to help his team get back up to the front. You know, because Kenny's not going to have a bad pit stop, and if he didn't come out with the rest of these guys he was running with all racing, that just tells me he's trying to get back there with Derek Walker and Mark Jurgensen and Rodney Wolford and try to watch it, which means that they're going to end up trying to go 4 wide, 3 wide, whatever, and get them door course and incorporate it up there. I mean, that's what Chris Bassini hired them to drive the trucks for.
Oh, most definitely there, Dwayne, is the pace car is now bringing them into turns 3 and 4. I'm going to give you the honor of bringing them back to the green flag.
Yeah, we have the 13 truck, David Anderson. I don't know why iRacing keeps changing these numbers. Keep them the same so it's easy to tell what's going on. But the 13 truck of David Anderson, Famous Dave, is going to take them to the green as we got and Daytona's quick green, so the pace car dropped and they are gone. And boy, there were some gaps in between that field. There was quite a bit of people sleeping. Now watch 76 and 77, their teammates. Won't be long, they'll be teaming up together, and then Famous Dave is not going to be so famous.
Well, he may definitely be famous, but Jack Watts, as it looks like he is clear, but is Jeff T. Martin going to jump up and help him as they are still running single file here through turns 1 and 2 here on the backstretch as they are getting up to speed, hitting speeds of 183 mile an hour.
Yeah, Artie Peterson Jr. jumped out to the outside there in front of Jeff T. Martin. The 76, Jack Watts, he sticks his nose out, but I don't know. He might just be content to stay where he's at. I mean, he's in a good, there he goes. Now he's out in front of Artie, so somebody got on that mic and said, hey, get out of here and help him. And what a run he got. Boy, he got the draft from the back of the 13 truck to slingshot. Made his move just timed, just right where Artie Peterson was pushing him as soon as he got up there. And he's almost clear, not quite, and now that line's falling back a little bit. See, you got to take that momentum, Dave. When it gets there, you got to get that momentum, and hopefully it gets you far enough in the front you can drop down. But unfortunately for Jack, that didn't happen this time.
Most definitely here is we've definitely got some Southeast Motorsports here. We've got the 76 of Jeff T. Martin, the 77 of Jack Watts, and the 02 of Mitchell Reeves, all running up here close to the front here, all in the top 10. As these guys are battling, looking back through the field here, some of our fast drivers from the last segment are kind of running towards the back here. I'm looking for our current race, our segment winner from last segment. He's currently running back at 18th position.
And that's not a bad position for him, because that's pretty much going to guarantee that he moves along into the next group, because his team had a comfortable position in it. So, you know, they're about middle of the pack as far as the team standings go, and Chris, with him winning that race, gave him a little leeway. On the flip side of that, the second truck on the bottom, Matthew Walzenbach in the 29 truck, he's the lowest one on his team right now, so he's facing elimination. He needs to get as many points as he can, and the only way he can do that is not by racing the 13, but by staying his nose to that back bumper and pushing that 13.
Oh, most definitely. It looks like they are all still bunched up here in this lead pack. We don't have any stragglers just yet. It looks like they're, as you said, pretty content on riding where they are. We have 15 laps remaining here at Daytona for this 35-lap segment. As these guys are battling it out, I figure within the next 8 laps or so, Dwayne, that's when we're going to start seeing some 3 wide and people making some moves trying to get up to that front.
And you know, I said something about Matt, and I just noticed by looking at the points, that 76 truck at Jack Watts is about to be eliminated from his team, so he needs a good finish up here too as he drops down in front of Famous Dave down there and is pulling that. So Jack needs a good finish up there too, so he can't be too aggressive, but at the same time, he got to make sure that he stays up front. You know, and David Anderson's another one. So we got Anderson, Watts, and Wazenbach is all the lowest point getters on their team and will be eliminated after this round if they don't finish good. So that's why we're seeing that patience, and wreck toward the back, and it looks like the 20 truck's involved.
Well, as we key up our Dre Broadcasting Network replay, we are going to focus on the 20 Association Machine Team and definitely get that checked out at Talladega as we are watching. Well, as we focus on the 20 of Derek Walker here.
Yeah, watch the 24 truck there, Dave, in that replay.
Ooh, looks like we had a little 3 wide. 58 of Jim Peterson made some contact with the 24, which brought him up into the 20, and it just was a domino effect thereafter, but it looked like the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer was able to work his way through there. Highly unfortunate here for our second caution of the night here on lap 22.
Yeah, and it looks like the 24 got a little bump from his teammate there, the 58, at the wrong time. The 58 hits the wall and the 24 goes down, collecting the 98 and the 20, which is unfortunately, as Kevin Tasmore is going to be given the at-fault injury in that one. And that'll be his second because he got one in the first race too.
That's highly unfortunate, but right now our race leader is going to be the 76 of Jeff T. Martin, followed by the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr., with David Anderson in 3rd, Jack Watts fourth, and Matthew Wazenbach in 5th. It'll be interesting to see who's going to pit and who's going to stay out here, Dwayne.
Yeah, it's interesting because we don't have that many laps left, you know. But, you know, if you're toward the back, what do? If you're toward the front, you know, you got to stay out there. The guys we talked about, they have to stay out there because of the simple fact they need the points. So they're not going to go down pit road. But if you're at the back, you need them 4 fresh tires so you can run 3 wide.
Well, we did see a good list of drivers making their way down on pit road. We have the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr., David Anderson on pit road, Mark Vega, Bobby Tinch, Kenny Holderman, Gary Champion, Raymond Rittenauer, Eddie Hawks, Paul Fugate, Jason Rudebush, Jeff Figlin, Christopher Berry, Michael Jeans, James Peterson, Ronnie Wolford, and Mark Jorgensen Jr. all coming down for a late pit stop as we are currently on lap 23, which means we've got 12 laps to go here at Daytona.
Yeah, and you see Southeast Motorsports staying out on this time around. You know, Jeff don't really need a good finish. Well, Jeff's down toward the end too, but you know, he needs to get back up to the front and stay up there and get a good point night. So let me see if I can run down through who's up at the front that needs it. Jeff Martin is about to be eliminated or on elimination. David Anderson. Gregory Napar, which is, Greg is in 10th right now. Matthew Wazenbach, which is running in the 3rd spot right now. Jack Watts, which is outside. He's going to start outside of his teammate. Well, I say teammate, guys, but one of them's Southeast Motorsports A team, which is Jeff Martin, and the other one is Southeast Motorsports. So they're teammates everywhere else, but tonight they're not.
Oh, most definitely. That just adds to more excitement as these guys are battling for a $100 cash prize and be able to say the team champion for the Cyber Racing Association $100 team challenge.
Yeah, all drivers have pitted, so we don't have to worry about anybody having to take the pit right now. It's just completely voluntary and why they want to pit and what their game plan is. I know, Dave, if we are at the back of this pack right here and we have the points from the last race to rely on, I'm going to put 4 tires on. I'm not going to put gas because I don't want that extra weight in there. And then you and I are going to link up and we are going to move that outer soft wall over a little bit as we race toward the front.
Well, while you were talking about that, we did see the 77 of Jack Watts go down pit road. Looks like his pit time was only 4.4 seconds, so he just took fuel. He is currently being scored back in 7th position at the very moment.
And which that is a legal move. They are required to take 2 tires, but Jack pitted on the earlier one and took his 2 tires. So if he wants to go down and put it, maybe his truck handles it better with the weight on there. Me personally, I like mine a little loose, so I don't like as much weight on my rear tires. So that way it kind of wiggles around everywhere but Talladega had that bump in the dog leg.
Oh, most definitely. I kind of like that bump. It reminds me that I'm racing Daytona, especially when I'm down on that yellow line.
Yeah, that one at Talladega will jar your back end loose if you don't have a good set underneath you or you got some old tires and less fuel. This track's a lot smoother. I mean, if you don't think it's smooth, go run the old track, the 07, before they paved it. And you know, we have this track here, so that one, even in simulated online racing, will jar your teeth and break your arm racing it.
Oh, most definitely, especially for those sim racers that run with a lot of force feedback in their sim racing wheel, as we are now 1 to go. So we have the 76 of Jeff T. Martin bringing these guys to the green flag. It'll be a 9-lap shootout for the win here at Daytona. But he has got the 29 of Matthew Wolzenbach out on the outside. He's got the 03 of Kevin Hash behind him. And then the 14 of John Napier is going to line up behind Matthew Wolzenbach on the outside. But we also got to be careful because we know how dangerous he can be. We have the 02 of Mitchell Reeves in that 5th position. And then on the outside will be the 52 of Gregory Napier. So this should make for an interesting restart there, Dwayne.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as they lay back and kind of speed up a little bit. You know, they need the good points. So do you race him hard for a win that isn't going to help you if you wreck, or do you just run there and be comfortable? I think the aggressive, where we're going to see the aggressive, is about midway pack. I say Ruderbush and 17th on back, because that is the guys that finished up toward the front, and you know they have the points to fall back on, so they're going to get them. We got Kenny Holderman, Dark Horse are all lined up, and we got Jack Watts back there, which he fell back because of that pit stop. But you know, if you're going to fall back behind anybody, I'd rather fall back behind teammates that I know are going to go 3 wide and get into the front. Well,
Dwayne, the pace car has made its way off pit road. The green flag has flown. Oh, it looks like the 29 of Wolzenbach got a good run, but John Napier did not get a good run to get up and help him. It looks like Wolzenbach was challenging the 76 of Jeff T. Martin, but is now falling back because he had no help, as they are now coming through turns 1 and 2 here at Daytona.
Yeah, and that's what we heard Kenny Holderman telling Jeff Martin earlier, that he needed him to tug underneath him and push, and that's exactly why. Matt got an excellent start, but Napier got a crummy start, and because of it, we see there's, you know, Matt's already fell back to 6th, 7th spot.
Well, we've got the 76 of Jeff T. Martin, the 03 of Kevin Hash, and the 02 of Mitchell Reeves making moves on that inside lane, while Wolzenbach has dropped all the way back to about 5th, 6th position, as he is just not being able to push there on that outside lane. He does have the trucks behind him, as the 02 of Mitchell Reeves jumps up to give him a hand, trying to get up there with his teammate, but he dumps back down into that bottom lane there, as the 29 of Wolzenbach just did not have a run off the turn.
Yeah, Mitchell kind of made his move a little early there. He had the momentum from the draft, but he just couldn't get Wolzenbach behind him to push because he wasn't close enough yet. And the smart thing, he jumped back in line, got the momentum again, and there we go, wrecking on the outside. Looked like it was outside of Holderman.
Well, we are going to go back to our Dre Broadcasting Network instant replay. We are going to do a a blimp view there of Kenny Holderman to see if we can see exactly what caused that.
I called that wrong. It's going to be the 52.
Well, we are going to focus on the 52 of Gregory Napier from our Goodyear blimp here as they were trying to make a move there on the outside. Looks like their trucks were just getting a little squiggly down on the bottom there as they are still running, but looks like the 78 machine tried to make a move on the inside, thought better of it, kind of fell off as they are now here coming down the backstretch. Looks like the 52 is kind of losing a little momentum. The 78 gets to him, coming through the turn, gives him a little bump, gets him a loose, right down into the truck below him, and it's just going to cause a pile up behind him.
Yeah, unfortunately, Donald got that run on the 52 about time he lost it, and that's going to push it. I think that's right, Donald Sandusky. It's the 78 truck got that run on the 52, and unfortunately, that's going to end up giving the 78 a black flag.
Well, Dwayne, that is going to give us about a 3 to 2 lap shootout. We should go back to green flag racing here as we are now on our third caution here on lap 28 with 7 laps to go.
Yeah, this is going to make it interesting. I mean, this is what we want. We got, you know, we was talking about it. The 52 truck of Gregory Napier, he needed a good finish, and he's sitting on pit lane right now trying to fix himself. So that might just be his nail in his coffin for this series.
Well, Dwayne, if these guys don't pit and they stay out, look at this on the front. It is going to have the 76 of Jeff T. Martin from Southeast Motorsports. That is going to put the 03 of Kevin Hash on the outside. But right behind Jeff T. Martin is going to be his teammate, the 02 of Mitchell Reeves, with Eric Minch starting right behind Kevin Hash.
And you know what? If I'm a Southeast Motorsports fan, which I know we got at least one of them out there in that chat, Dave, this is perfect for me because, as I stated, these other drivers are not used to Charlotte. They don't race Charlotte as much as Southeast do. So if we're going to finish up this race good, we're going to get a lot of points, and we're going to head to Charlotte, a track that we have the advantage over every other driver in this field, and be able to bring home that money.
Well, I can definitely say Charlotte is one of my favorite tracks to go to here in the Camping World Trucks. I think it is fun, it's exciting, it's not a long, you don't have the speeds you get here at Talladega or Daytona, but it is a fun track, so it'll definitely make for some great racing here in segment 3.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I love Charlotte. Charlotte is on the schedule for iRacing, and I need it when it's an official race, and I need to get some iRating or advancement in my license or something. I always run Charlotte. I love racing Charlotte. Charlotte, you can go hard balls to the wall, but when you come out of turn 3 and head into 4, you better ease up a little bit or you're going to eat that wall.
Oh, that wall coming out of turn 4, it's deadly. You get that wall, and if there's a line of trucks behind you, it's going to cause a big pile up because that wall will suck you in, and to get off of it, you got to crank harder on that wheel. So that wall there, it'll definitely suck you in here as we are now 5 laps to go here, so it looks like we are going to have about a 3-lap shootout.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting here. I see a lot of guys up front that are just going to try to hold on. You know, I know Martin, Jeff, he would love to have the bragging rights of winning this race, but at the same time, he knows that he needs to finish strong. So if there's a run on the outside, I don't look for Jeff to go up and block him and risk not making it to Charlotte where he's going to run good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we started the field with 35 trucks here tonight. We currently have 30 trucks on the lead lap. So anything can happen. We can see the big one up front take out all the leaders, so everybody in the back. Anything can happen because these guys are going to go balls to the wall here for the last few laps.
And Jeff Martin is kind of playing around with the pace car there. Good thing that's an invisible pace car, Jeff, with the dents all over.
Oh, I find myself doing that, trying to ride inside the pace car, see what it looks like.
Hey, Dave, I think, why don't you get in Jeff, in Martin's truck there in his cockpit, and I'm going to tell him to pull up inside that pace car, because show the fans, iRacing really went to details inside that car, you know, and they ought to see how well iRacing goes to details and what length they go.
10-4, we are now riding on the inside of the 76 of Jeff T. Martin, as we have now got the 1 degree.
Yeah, Jeff's like, man, I got 1 degree, but he's gonna pull up. There he is. He's up inside there. Look at that. They put pants on the guy. They put short sleeves. You know, they got the radio in there. You can change the channel, all that. You know, and one thing I have to say, it's better looking than a Porsche at a super speedway.
Oh, most definitely here. Is we are 4 laps to go. We are going to have a 3-lap shootout. We are currently being led by the 76 of Jeff Martin, the 03 of Kevin Hash on the outside, Jeff's teammate, the 02 of Mitchell Reeves, right behind him. But we also have the 00 Eric Minch in 4th, and also we still have the 29 of Matthew Walzenbach just hiding back there in 5th position.
Yeah, and all them guys you called out, they need good finishes, and they need to get the points out of it so that they have that chance to go. And, you know, they don't want to be a weak link on their team. They can't help their team win $100 when they get to Charlotte.
Oh, most definitely here as these guys are tightening it up, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Unfortunately, if a yellow does come out in the next 2 laps, that is going to freeze the field. We are going to end under yellow here at Daytona. Hopefully we don't see it. Hopefully we see green flag, 3 wide racing for the win.
And, you know, that 03, I got to give him a shout out on the outside, Kevin Hash. Last year in the Daytona 500 for iRacing, which comes up next week, Kevin pushed me to the win, and in the very next race, I was able to pay him back and push him to the win in the 500. So he knows how to get around super speedways.
Well, the pace car is now off. Green flag flies. Here comes the 76 of Jeff Martin. He's got the 02 of Mitchell Reeves right on that back bumper. Didn't look like the 00 of Eric Minch got as good a restart there as Kevin Hash, but they are able to close it up. But they have the 5 trucks on the bottom. Only 4 trucks up. Now it's 4 and 4.
And they're wrecking at the back, so that's going to finish it up. Looked like there was a big checkup toward the back of the field.
Well, as we go back here towards the back of the field, we are going to go to our blimp view here to see exactly what happened. We're going to take a look here towards the back of the field.
It looks like around the 5 truck there, Roger Stewart, it all started.
Well, as we are looking, it looks like, as you said, there was a big checkup there. Guys coming in, and just looks like one truck kind of got out line, went 3 wide. As we see some, oh, it looks like he hit the apron, and then the trucks behind him just kind of went off. I see Rodney Woodford was involved in that. But as you said, that is going to give the race win to the 76 of Jeff Martin, followed by Mitchell Reeves, Kevin Hash in 3rd position. Matthew Walzenbach is going to walk away with a 4th place finish, and the 00 of Eric Minch will finish in 5th.
Was that Sean Bounty that got in Roger Stewart there? No, that was Dustin Lee. Dustin Lee got into it.
Well, Dwayne, it looks like Southeast Motorsports has made a recovery. They are going to finish 1 and 2 here at Daytona, so it looks like they are going to have some pretty good momentum going into Charlotte.
Yep, they sure are. They're going to have good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to continue focusing on the 76 of Jeff T. Martin, who has taken the white flag. Next time around, he is going to take the checkered, and we are going to see a smoke show. But we are going to get an interview in with segment 2 winner, the 76 of Southeast Motorsports, Jeff Martin. Just Give us a few moments here while we get everything set up and follow him around, but we are going to have a race interview before segment 3.
That bit of guys up front that, you know, they were able to maintain and stay up front where they're at. So we're waiting on Jeff to get his around there and get that checker flag, and you know Jeff's going to burn it down.
Oh, most definitely here. So Dwayne, how is the field going to be set for our third and final segment? Are they going to have a qualifying, or is it just going to be a random selection?
Nope, we're going to let the drivers get up on their wheel. We're going to let them go 2 laps. And we're going to put the fastest ones at the front and the slowest ones at the rear. And then we're going to go crazy for 40 laps and determine what team is the best team on iRacing.
Now, for the final segment, Dwayne, do they have a pit requirement, or is it just pit when you want to?
Nope, they have a pit requirement. They must take 2 tires in that race too. But trust me, in Charlotte, they don't want them 2 tires. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them don't take the 4 tires, because Charlotte will eat the tires off of the trucks.
Most definitely hears. And then also at the start of the next segment, we're going to find out what drivers were eliminated, what drivers are going to make it. This is 76 of Jeff T. Martin is going to win at Daytona International for his team, Southeast Motorsports. As we watch the 76 of Jeff Martin make his victory lap, we are going to get him up here in the booth and get an interview from him. Just bear with us one moment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have our segment 2 winner here at Daytona. We have the 76, Jeff Martin. You got a copy there, Jeff?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Jeff, tell us, what was your strategy coming into this race, considering that there was going to be an inverted field here? As I'm looking, you started back into 5th position.
Well, my goal was to stay up front, I mean, at least in the top, 5, 6, so I could not be back in the back where a bunch of stuff happened in the middle and stuff. So it worked out. I stayed there through the pit stop and everything. So I only lost like 2 spots in the pit stop, but it all worked out really good.
Oh, most definitely there. Now we are going to Charlotte for the second segment. Do you have any experience at Charlotte?
Charlotte's one of my favorite tracks.
So should we see you starting towards the pole, or are you going to kind of start in the middle of the field? As in segment 3, you're actually going to have to run 2 laps per qualifying.
I'm pretty good at qualifying, but I mean, well, I take that back. I'm a toward the front qualifier at Charlotte and Atlanta and places like that. I usually end up somewhere between 5th and 8th or 9th, something like that. I can never get in the pole. I don't know what it is, but I win a lot of them.
Oh, most definitely, Jeff. Well, Jeff, before we let you go, so you can start getting ready for your third segment here in the CRA $100 Team Challenge, do you have any final shout-outs or anyone you would like to thank tonight?
Yeah, definitely Cyber Racing and y'all for doing the broadcast. Was it Dre and just everybody that's associated with this. I don't know who all the sponsors are, but I'm sure they're much appreciated for putting on this stuff and supporting the people being able to do it. So, and my teammate Southeast Motorsports, we finished pretty good, and the second team finished good too. So, shout out to all them.
Well, most definitely, Jeff, and we are going to let you get down and start getting prepared for the next segment at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So congratulations on your segment 2 win, and hopefully we'll see you up front for the Charlotte win.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, have a good night, Jeff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was segment 2 at Daytona International. We're going to have about another 10 to 15 minute intermission, so use them bathrooms, get your drinks, get your snacks, and we will be right back. So make sure you stick around for our final segment of the night. Is one team is going to win $100 in the CRA $100 Team Challenge. We will be right back here in about 10 minutes. Thank you.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dre Broadcasting Network as we are bringing you segment 3 of the CRA $100 Team Challenge. We are currently at Charlotte Motor Speedway as these guys are just now finishing up practice. These guys will have 5 minutes to turn 2 laps for qualifying for our last and final segment. Once again, my name is David Everly, and I will be your announcer tonight. And I'm also joined by league owner and co-commentator Dwayne Cooper. How you doing, Dwayne?
Doing just fine, man. We got if we go over the points race while these guys are qualifying here. Excuse me, in the team points, we got Southeast Motorsports, the A team, at 211 points. Rebel Jaeger Racing is in second, only 2 points behind. OSRA TV, or TV, I keep saying TV, Racing is 23 points behind. Champion Performance Racing Inc. is sitting fourth with 29 total points behind. Dark Horse Incorporated dropped 1 spot down to fifth, and they're 44 points out of it. Underdog Motorsports is 46 points behind. Lazy Dog Racing is 52. The other Southeast Motorsports is 43, and then of course Radical Racing and Underdog Racing has been eliminated.
Well, Dwayne, it looks like all the drivers out here is we've got 23, 24 drivers here competing for this last segment here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Currently, right now, is the first round of lap times, qualifying times are coming in. Looks like right now the 96 of Jason Rudebush is currently on the pole. Actually, he was just knocked off by the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., who's running a 28.759.
Yeah, and I'm actually cheating here. I'm actually saving Jorgensen's qualifying lap. Look at Dustin Lee. What did I tell you? Southeast Motorsport. But yeah, Jorgensen, I was saving his qualifying lap so I can hopefully get faster at this track.
Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just tuning in for the final segment here, we have ran 2 segments already. The first one was a 30 lap at Talladega, which was won by the 88 of Christopher Berry. Segment 2 was at Daytona International for 35 laps, and that was won by the 76 of Jeff T. Martin. So we are on our third and final segment. These drivers are battling for a $100 prize. That's $25 for each driver of the team prize here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah, we only gonna have 24 drivers able to race in this race. You know, we got Matthew Walzenbach's in there, but he was eliminated, so he's just being race admin. But we're gonna have 24 drivers start this race, and at the end of 40 laps, somebody's taking home some money.
Well, looking at our current qualifying times, we do have Gary Champion on the pole right now, followed by Roger Wolford in second, Dustin Lee third, Jorgensen Jr. fourth, Michael Jeans in fifth, Nick Reynolds sixth, Jeff T. Martin seventh, Rudebush eighth, Eric Braille in ninth, and Fugate currently rounding out our top 10, as it looks like we've only got 2 trucks left out on the track here, as it looks like actually we only have 1 left now, and that's the 88 of Christopher Berry. Looks like his first lap is going to put him back in 21st, so it'll be interesting to see of how much he could pick it up here in this second lap here, as he is now coming through turns 3 and 4, coming to the start finish on.
Yeah, it looks like Barry hit the wall. He's got some damage there, probably out of 4. That wall is going to reach out and grab a lot of drivers tonight. And the bad thing about Charlotte, when you hit that wall coming out of 4, it has a bad tendency to shoot you straight down pit road. So you get a black flag, plus you get damage.
Oh, most definitely here, as it looks like we are now finishing up qualifying, so it does look like Gary Champion is going to be our pole setter here for the third and final segment, is that we have still got about 45 seconds until these guys will start getting in their trucks and start gridding here for the final segment, which will be 40 laps here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So it looks like it's going to be some great racing, as we've got Mark A. Vega, Sean Boundy, Derek Walker, Kevin Hash, John Napier, Eric Braille, Jason Rudebush, Rodney Wolford, Dana Osborne, Jeff Figlin, Nick Reynolds, Mark Jorgensen Jr., Michael Jeans, Christopher Berry, Bobby Tinch, Jeff Martin, Paul Fugate, Dustin Lee, Raymond Rittenauer II, Mitchell Reeves, Tyler Chalk, Gary Champion, Sawyer Ott, Eric Minch, and Matthew Walzenbach, who is all going to be competing here tonight. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry, Matthew Walzenbach is just in here as a viewer. He will not be racing in this last segment, so we have the 24 here as qualifying is now over. As we wait on these guys to start gridding up, then we'll go over our starting grid for the final segment here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah, they're gridding up now. Boy, I love this track. This track is so pretty. I wonder if they're going to paint the walls green. Dave, you think they're going to paint them green and get rid of that yellow?
No, I like the yellow. It keeps my eye candy. As now I am going to start over the starting grid here. On the pole, we have the 23 of Gary Champion. The 3 of Rodney Wolford will be starting to his outside in second position. Starting in third, the 32 of Dustin Lee. Starting fourth, Mark Jurgensen in the 81 machine will be starting in fourth. The 08 of Michael Jeans will be starting in fifth. Nick Reynolds in the 54 truck will be starting sixth. Starting seventh, the 76 of Jeff Martin. The 96 of Jason Rearbush starting eighth. Starting ninth, the 6 of Eric Braille. Starting 10th, 7, Paul Fugate. Starting 11th, the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer II. Starting 12th, the 98 of Jeff Figlin. Starting 13th, the 20 of Derek Walker. The 02 of Mitchell Reeves will be starting in 14th. Starting 15th will be the 8 of Dana Osborne. The 10 of Mark A. Vega starting in 16th. Starting 17th, the 66 of Bobby Tinch. The 4 of Tyler Chalk starting 18th. Starting 19th, the 70 of Sawyer Ott. 34 of Sean Bounty starting 20th. Starting 21st, the 88 of Christopher Berry. Starting 22nd, 03 of Kevin Hash. And starting 23rd, the 14 of John Napier. And that will be our final starting, but we do have the 00 of Eric Minch, who will be starting in 24th position.
Yep, sounds good. And, we was trying to figure out how to get a hard charger. It's hard to do over that. So I tell you what, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to give the Radical Racing fans vote. So by lap 20, we're going to start counting votes. And the driver that receives the most votes is going to win $20 from Radical Racing.
Oh, most definitely. So fans, get your vote in. Who's your favorite driver? So they have a chance of winning that $20 from Radical Racing. So once again, all you fans watching at home, get your vote in by lap 20 so we can definitely see who the fan vote is to receive that $20 prize from Radical Racing.
Yep, that's the easiest way to do it, guys. We'll just hand it out like that and we'll let the fans decide who they like in this race.
Well, as the pace car now brings them into turn 3 and 4, as these guys are bunched up in the Camping World trucks here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We have the 23 of Gary Champion in that Chevy Silverado with the 3 of Rodney Wolford on the outside. The pace car is off as these guys are waiting to go green flag racing. Looks like the green flag flies in Gary Champion and Rodney Wolford. Rodney Wolford gets a good start and is off to the races there as he is going to beat Gary Champion to the line as we are now coming into turn 1. It looks like they are, the 32 of Dustin Lee, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen make contact. Yellow is not out yet. We are still green flag, but they are all wrecking behind them. Wow, we have a huge wreck and the green flag or yellow flag finally flies.
Well, that was right off the bat, huh? And boy, what was the flagman doing up there? Was he watching the race? Not watching the wreck? Man, that was a big old wreck before he threw that yellow.
Well, as we go to our replay here, we're going to try to see if we can see exactly what happened here. As we are looking back towards the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., him and Dustin Lee make contact, and everybody starts checking up to miss it, and there is just a huge wreck there as we see Jeff T. Martin is involved and Derek Walker is involved. Wow, what a pileup. This is definitely going to shake this race up.
Yeah, that kind of early. I didn't expect that. I expected it off turn 4. I didn't expect it off of turn 1 there. But, you know, Dustin told him, he said, hey, man, I'm sorry, dude. I hit the apron and shot him up there. You know, they've been racing super speedways the last 2 races here, so they got to get a little used to it here.
Oh, most definitely there, Dwayne. So we are going to have our first caution on lap 1 here tonight, as we have now just completed lap 2. So we have 38 laps to go, but we do see a lot of trucks down on pit road. The 81 of Mark Jurgensen, the 02 of Mitchell Reeves, 34 Sean Boundy, 70 of Sawyer Ott. The Eric Braille is on pit road. Raymond Rittenauer, Bobby Tinch, Mark Vega, and Jason Rudovich all down on pit road here on lap 1.
Yeah, it's a shame it happened right there. A lot of trucks are going to go to their backups right off the bat, you know, so, but hopefully it makes for better racing for the rest of it.
Oh, most definitely. Hopefully all those trucks are able to get their repairs and get back out. Also looks like currently the 88 of Christopher Berry is already went 1 lap down, so we only have 23 trucks remaining on the lead lap, as we see all the drivers making their way off pit road, catching up to the field here in turns 3 and 4.
Well, this track is, you know, it's slick. They got to get these tires warmed up. They got to relax a little bit, you know, and starts and restarts is where you're going to catch most of your damage and your wrecking, because you're so close. And, you know, the track really looks wide. But, Dave, when you're in these trucks, that track does not look as wide as it does on YouTube.
Oh, most definitely. I understand that, but this is one of my favorite tracks. It is actually the track where I got my first iRacing win and back in the street stock days. But this track is, it's definitely a technical track. You got to play with your throttle control. It's about throttle control here. You cannot, for the first few laps, you might be able to mash it down without lifting, but eventually you're going to have to play with that throttle to get these trucks to turn. Otherwise, you're going to start sliding up and tagging that wall.
Yeah, and we'll see it as they go more and they burn these tires off a little bit. You know, you'll see more of that sliding up, and, you know, turn 4 is going to end up reaching out like a monster and grabbing a lot of trucks toward the end of this thing.
Well, we do know these drivers have a lot of pride in their racing. As you said, we already had the 32 of Dustin Lee getting on the mic and apologizing, taking claim for that. But these drivers are also battling for a $100 cash prize for their team. That's $25 a driver. That's $25 free for them just for coming out and racing the best they can.
Yeah, and we see Chris Berry, our first segment winner tonight. He's already gone 2 laps down, so that's bad news for Chris starting off the bat here on this race.
Well, Dwayne, it looks like we are now 1 to green here, as they are now coming into turns 1 and 2 here. The pace car lights are off as we see it bringing these trucks around the field here. So these drivers are getting ready to go back green flag racing here, as we have an overcast weather conditions here at Charlotte, as we don't see the sun, so that track is going to get sticky. They just got to be able to put some laps down. We are still currently being led by the 3 of Rodney Wolford. Gary Champion is going to start to his outside. The 54 of Nick Reynolds is going to start on the inside, with the 08 of Michael Jean starting on the outside. So it looks like we've got some Southeast Motorsports guys that are starting in 3 and 4.
Yeah, we had one of the dark horse drivers, Jorgensen, got caught up in that, but he still was able to maintain about 6 spots, 7 spots back on the track. So yeah, once we get going green and get it sticky and start sticking, we'll see some really good racing.
Well, the pace car is now off. Rodney Wolford is going to bring him to the green flag. The green flag flies. The 54 of Reynolds gives him a nice little tap to get him going, say, come on, let's go. As they are coming through the dog leg here, as the 54 is going to look to the inside, just not able to get to the inside there, as he was challenging already the 3 of Rodney Wolford, as they are single file behind him with Gary Champion. These guys are battling back in third and 4th and 5th and 6th here, as we've got Michael Jeans there dropping down behind the truck errors. They are battling here through the dogleg. I tell you what, Dwayne, the dogleg is actually one of my favorite parts there, especially if you can get your tires right down to that next white line there coming out of turn 4. I found you can get a lot of speed right there.
Yeah, you can, and you can carry that speed off into 1 and 2, which really helps you, because 1 and 2 is really the one that you can put the speed on, as Nick Renters is going down low on the dirt 3, and you notice he had to let off that gas to carry it through there. That low line, this is a high wall hanging track. You want to be up high. The only time, Dave, that you want to be low is in that dog leg. The rest of the time, you want to be up about middle to high all the way around it.
Looks like 32 of Dustin Lee is having some issues as he is down below the white line there.
No, Dave, sorry to cut you off, but he's serving that black flag for that penalty.
Well, it looks like he is going to bring out the caution there as he got spun around on that bottom lane, and they are going to throw out the caution, but looks like no other truck was involved. Well, that is going to bring out our second caution as we pull up our Dre Broadcasting Network instant replay here, focusing on Dustin Lee.
Yeah, it looks like Dustin's trying to stay below that line there as he's coming out, but, you know, he's also trying to pick up the speed so he can get in behind these guys. And he catches the apron just a little bit, and, you know, it went from him starting up front to being on the side, sliding down the back stretch.
Almost definitely, that apron is not your fan. You do not want to touch that apron while you're touching the track, as that is going to cause him a lot of damage as we see a truck barely get around him, but good maneuvering there. But that is going to put Dustin Lee now down 2 laps, but I don't see any smoke, so he's just got some cosmetic damage to that truck.
Boy, you seen the 08 truck there and the Ford truck, they faked down pit road and then pulled back out onto the track. You know, they don't want to get toward the back end of that. And, you know, that was Chris Barrett that almost hit that again. So we talking about Chris's bad luck, you know. And Chris made it through there, and he'll probably end up our lucky dog this round.
Well,
there he goes.
It looks like our top 3 drivers still have not pitted yet, but everybody behind them has already done their 1 pit stop here. So we are starting to see some pit strategy already playing out here, as we have got our second caution on lap 9 here. We've got 31 laps to go. We are being led by the 54 of Nick Reynolds, followed by his teammate, the 08 of Michael Jeans, with the 4 of Tyler Chalk in 3rd place.
Yeah, we got Nick made his move right about that right time, and what I like about Nick was on the low side and he let up. He could have tried to carry that momentum and do a dirt track move and just body slam the crap out of Rodney Wolford, but he didn't. He raced him clean and he got the lead, and the caution come out. Now he's got some buddies behind him to help him stay out there.
Well, as we've already got some votes here in the chat, we've got the 20 being voted. We've got the 3 of Rodney Wolford being voted. We got a vote for the 8 of Dana Osborne. Also, now we have a vote for the number 6, which is the Eric Braille. So go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, get your votes in. Driver with the most votes at lap 20 will receive that $20 prize.
Yeah, we need to vote for Dustin Lee because he's having a bad luck award in this one. Well, Dave, you've seen these guys. What do you think about Dustin Lee just come over the radio and said, I can get the Wrecker Award? Who do you think has the best chance here? I tell you what, I'm going with the 08 of Michael Jeans. Not just because he's up front, but because I've seen him race, and he really does really well at Charlotte, and he likes it. And, you know, if he's going to wreck, then I have to go with Jeff Martin.
Well, Sean, Dwayne, I am going to go out on a limb here, even though right now the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer II is currently back in 11th or 16th position. I've seen him drive. He is good here at Charlotte. He's a clean driver. I look forward to seeing him make his way up to the front and winning.
Yeah, you know, and it's hard. I'm looking through this field trying to pick a driver. Man, you got Jorgensen back there. You got Derek Walker back there. You got Rodney, Jeff Figlin. Gary Champion showed he's fast here. You know, Sean Bounty, shoot, dude, it's hard to, looking at this field, it's hard to pick a driver.
Well, Dwayne, the lights are off on the pace car. We are getting ready to go back green flag racing here with 28 laps remaining as the pace car now brings them through turn 1 and 2. Currently, we have the 54 of Nick Reynolds on the inside. His teammate, the 08 of Michael Jenkins, on the outside. The 4 of Tyler Chalk will be starting in right behind Nick Reynolds, while Eric Braille will be starting right behind Michael Jenkins.
Yeah, these guys are going to put it balls to the wall, and they're going to try to get out there and line up in single file. I'd be willing to bet and just ride that high line and go. They got 12 lap older tires for the first 3, and then Eric, Mark, and Jeff's got 10 laps. So we got some guys out there on older tires than everybody else.
Pace car dips in. It looks like the green flag is going to fly. 54 of Nick Reynolds gets hard on that throttle, but he leaves his draft help there behind him as the 08 of Michael Jenkins gets a good run. Looks like he is going to slide down and ride right behind the 54 of Nick Reynolds here as they are going to be running 1-2 here coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah, Nick slides up in front of the 08 there of Michael Jenkins. You know, and they're kind of jockeying a little bit, but I'm really shocked at the 2 wide that we got going on behind it. Nobody wants to give up the position and get in single file. They got to hold it, and if you're on the low line, you can only do that so far before your tires start wearing out, and you're going to have to either back out or get forward enough to get you to the outside.
Well, as we see the battle there, it looks like they are battling the 08 of Michael Jenkins. It looks like they thought about 3 wide there for a second. The 6 of Eric Braille is making a move, overtakes that second position, but right behind him, following him, is the 76 of Jeff T. Martin, as he is going to take that 3rd position away from Michael Jenkins.
Yeah, you know, and another thing I love about this track is you can slide job the crap out of somebody here. You go in low and let it slide up in front of them. You just got to make sure you got that room, but you can make that coming off of 4. You can make it coming out of 2 down the back stretch. You know, and you see them lined up to the wall there and watch them duck down, and they'll try to slide. And you got to try to get underneath him, and that's what Eric's trying to do, is get enough underneath of Nick there that he can make that and force Nick to have to lift a little bit entering that corner.
Well, as we see the 6 of Eric Braille filling up that mirror of Nick Reynolds, he is going to get to the inside of him in turn 1, but he is not going to be able to pass him. He's going to have to slide up underneath of him. It looks like he has got, now Eric's got to worry about the 76 of Jeff Martin back in 3rd position, as these guys are battling hard up front. But we've got battles in the back of the field here as we go back and look back in 11th position at the 98 of Jeff Figlin, as he is currently running back in 11th, as they are battling Derek Walker and his teammate, and Mark Jorgensen Jr. are battling for that 10th position.
Yeah, and you know, that's something else. We talked about Southeast, but OSRA, they run Charlotte in their league also. And, you know, so Figman's pretty good here. He dominated one of his league races here. You know, as we see Nick still controlling that front up there, but we now have Jeff Martin trying to make that low side and try to slide up in front of Eric there. Eric's got some fans out there cheering him on, too.
Yes, we do. We've got votes for him. We've got votes for Derek Walker and a bunch of other drivers. We are now on lap 17. You got 3 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Get those votes in so we can get them counted and see who's going to take away that $20 prize. So you only have, with about 28-second lap times, you only got about another minute and a half before voting will be closed, as they have now crossed the start-finish there on lap 18.
There we go, seeing Eric down there again. Boy, he's trying to work that bottom and get up there on Nick. He is on that wheel and working it. He's giving Nick a lot of room, so I got to give him a lot of respect for that. He, you know, at any point he could have come up there and loosened Nick up, but no, he is running Nick as clean as he can and forcing Nick, basically telling Nick, hey, you slip up one bit, buddy, and I got you. And what I got on my tally right now is a 20 and a 6 is leading votes.
Well, as we look back, it looks like the 10 of Mark Vega is sticking his nose. He gets down underneath the 76 of Jeff Martin and takes away that 4th position. But in our top 5, we do have 3 Southeast Motorsports, so can anybody top these guys? As you said, they are definitely strong here at Charlotte, and they are showing as we are now 21 laps to go, starting, and looks like our voting is now closed. So we will go back there if you want to, Dwayne, take a look at that and see who's going to take home that $20 prize.
Well, we have a tie between the 20 and the 6, so we need to break that tie. So we'll go 5 more laps from the next time they cross that line and just count them off. So everybody in chat needs to put a 20 or a 6, and I'll count them, and then we'll determine. And I don't know if we'll tell Eric if he ends up winning it, because he is fighting the wheel. I think he's concentrating on Nick.
Almost definitely here. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have until lap 25. Take a vote between the 6 and the 20. Who's going to take home that $20 prize? Get your votes in now. You've only got 4 laps remaining.
Well, I tell you what, that's some really good racing up front. They're showing a lot of respect for each other, and I can tell Nick's tires are going just a little bit because he's kind of putting it right below that line, holding down there a little bit so he can get that turn through the corner.
Yeah, most definitely. It looks like Sean or Dwayne, we've got 4 votes, 5 votes for the 6. Looks like the 6 has got some fans out there.
Yeah, it looks like he just won over a bunch of fans with the way he's racing up there and giving Nick a handful in his mirror.
Up, here comes the 20. He's getting his votes in now.
Well, we're calling a race out on the thing, and now we're back up tied again. We're right back to where we started from. Well, we're calling out a race inside the YouTube chat.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we try to bring you all the excitement we can here at Dre Broadcasting. So we've got excitement in the chat. We got excitement on the track here. As we're going to drop back a little further here in the track. Back to 9th, we are going to take a look at that 20 machine of Derek Walker as we see some drivers making their way down into pit road for some green flag pit stops. Looks like it's going to be the 02 of Mitchell Reeves, the 76 of Jeff Martin, and the 08 of Michael Jeans, also Tyler Chalk.
You know, I really like that. I think it's really good that they go down right now. They get the fresh tires, you know, because we've seen almost everybody up at the front. Had Nick's out there on 25 lap old tires, Eric and Mark Vega's up there, and you know they haven't pitted. So I think Eric just went down, didn't he? Caution! Oh boy, that's going to help everybody that went down there.
Well, it looks like the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer was involved in that, so we are going to go back here and take a look from our spotter cam here to see if we can see exactly what happened. As we follow the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer here, looks like he was running too wide there with the 14 machine coming into turn number 1.
Yeah, and race control just gave Jason Ruderbush EOL, so I guess he's about blowing up back there.
Well, as we still focus here on Raymond Rittenauer in a second. Looks like he just made some contact with the 14, got sent up into the wall, also collected the 96 machine. Also, Jason Ruderbush, as you said, as all the other drivers were able to get around. It looks like he's only suffered cosmetic damage, but that is our 3rd caution here with 14 laps to go.
Yeah, it is, and you know, the bad news on that one, it looks like Eric got called a lap down coming out of pit road, so he's needing them leaders to pit so that he can get back on there. He wasn't eligible for the lucky dog, so. Yeah, and Eric's going to get the wave around, so that's good for him.
Well, Dwayne, if my math is correct, it looks like the 6 machine of Eric Braille is going to take the $20 prize. He looks like he just narrowed out by 1 vote.
Yeah, I'm glad that you was able to count it because I ran out of toes to count them. You know, I only have 9 toes, so I was kind of screwed when they went above 9.
Well, this is going to shake the field up here as we are currently looking here. We are still being led by the 54 of Nick Reynolds. The question is, he's still going to have to come down pit road as he has not pitted as he makes his way down onto pit road. Looks like he is going to be followed by Mark Vega, Jorgensen Jr., Rodney Wolford, Derek Walker, and a bunch of others down on the pit road.
Yeah, race control just black flagged a 14 truck of, I believe that is going to be John Napier. So, they called him at fault in that accident, Dave.
Most definitely here is it looks like we are going to have possibly a new race leader. As it looks like Mark Jorgensen Jr. is in front right now. Actually, our new race leader is going to be the 7 of Paul Fugate.
Yeah, and Paul wasn't even scheduled to race this race. He actually filled in for somebody that couldn't make it tonight, so.
Well, just kind of waiting for these guys to go around to figure themselves out here as we have a lot of lap cars down. Looks like Mitchell Reeves, Tyler Chalk, Eric Brill, Jeff Martin, and Michael Jeans are going to get a wave around on once we go 1 to green. So they are going to get a wave around, but they are going to have to start from the back of the field. But that's only going to put us with right about 10 laps to go when we go back green flag racing.
Yeah, I'm showing Paul Fugate. Sorry if I butchered your name there. But Paul had last pitted 18 laps ago, so he's got some really, really old tires in front of some really, really fresh tires. You know, everybody else behind him pitted underneath there, so Paul stayed out. So maybe he likes his tires a little looser, and, you know, I don't know. We'll find out here when Paul gets back to going here.
Oh, most definitely here. So it's definitely going to be interesting. So it looks like everybody has done their job. They did come down and get tires here. So we should not see any more pit stops here. The only question is how is Paul Fugate going to handle on 19 old lap tires compared to fresh tires all behind him?
Well, you know what? Some guys like their cars loose. Some of them like the way it handled. Maybe he says, hey, you know, I'm going to get out here. There's going to be another one. I'll be able to get fresh tires and go. I mean, we're looking at 10 laps to go. I think he can honestly hold them off if he can just get it to stick for him. His problem is he's going to start on the low side, and this is a track that you actually want to be able to flip and go to the high side on older tires.
Oh, most definitely here is now the pace car is bringing them here into turn 3, so the pace car is going to be dipping off here very soon as we are getting ready to go back green flag racing.
Yeah, and we got Jorgensen on the outside. He is warming his truck tires up. He is ready.
Well, as the pace car now brings him out of turn 4, as it makes that hard left into pit road. As the 7 of Paul Fugate keeps him at pace speed, the green flag flies. Looks like he might have spun his tires a little bit. The 54 of Nick Reynolds had to go to the inside to keep from hitting him as he falls right behind him here, coming into turn 1. But Mark Jorgensen Jr. is going to be able to clear him and jump down to that low line there, coming out of turn 1. Turn 2.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about old tires here. You will spin them here, and that's exactly what he did. He was able to save it and keep it off of Jorgensen, but he lost some momentum in the process. And lucky for Nick didn't have to go too far under him, or he could have got black flag for passing. So.
Well, we are now under 10 laps to go. We have 9 laps remaining. Who is going to win the $100 here tonight? Who is going to win this race? How is it going to play out? How is the teams going to handle this? As we are now 9 laps to go here. We are currently have the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. in first, followed by the 7 of Paul Fugate and the 54 of Nick Reynolds in third position.
Yeah, we're coming down to 7 to go here, and these guys, you know, as they're coming out of turn 4, and they'll be told that it's 7 to go here. And Jorgensen, I tell you what, he ain't going to give up that race up there. Oh, we got Derek Walker down to the inside. If he keeps it down, we might go green. Nope, he come right back up into the track.
Well, as we pull up our instant replay, we are going to focus on the 20 of Derek Walker to see if we can see exactly what happened.
I think he was campaigning for votes and lost control. Now it looks like the 10 come down. Danica Patrick come down a little bit into that pink truck. And Derek, you know, he slid back up, but he had no choice. He bounced off that inside with the ball on. It shot him straight back up there.
I don't know there, Dwayne. Looking at the replay following from the far chase, it looked like it might have been a little netcode there on the 10, but Either way, he got a little loose and tagged that 20 truck of Derek Walker, causing him to spin out and bring out the caution.
Net code on iRacing? Are you kidding, Dave?
Oh, I know. It just can't happen.
Not according to iRacing. Keep sending that money in every month. He almost got Rodney Wolford where he got loose, too.
Well, this is going to shake it up where we are going to have about a 2 to 3 lap shootout here for the win. Just stay tuned afterwards, folks, as we watch the winner of tonight's race do the donuts. Dwayne is going to go into his little booth, do his calculations. We are going to find out who is going to win that $100 for the CRA $100 team challenge.
Yeah, and don't forget, it's not about who wins the race. It's about what team has stayed up top and ran and point raced all night.
Well, here looking at our top 5, we still have the 81 of Mark Jorgensen in first, the 7 of Paul Fugate currently sitting in second, the 54 of Nick Reynolds in third, Rodney Wolford in the 3 machine currently fourth, and the 10 of Mark Vega rounding out your top 5.
Well, you know, we've seen the 7 have spin his tires on that last restart, so is he going to risk giving up position to go down? I mean, we have 5 laps to go. Personally, I'd stay out there and just try to start it a little bit less, because he is trying to collect points for Lazy Dog, or Lazy Days, which ended up having a real good showing here.
Well, so these guys are coming out of turn 4. The 7 of Paul Fugate is currently down on the apron, but he is not going to go down pit road. He is going to stay out here as that Ford Mustang iRacing pace car brings him to the start finish.
You know, and I agree with that. Somebody in chat tell me where Lazy Days Racing runs, because they've really shown at this Charlotte track. I hadn't heard from them, you know, really up until this track here, and they've shown that they can run Charlotte. And I'd stay out too. There's not that much left to go, you know, and the only thing you don't want to do is spin it so much that you end up causing a wreck. If you can stay out there and keep it going and hang on to some positions, you know, Lazy Days may end up sneaking away with this thing.
Well, Dwayne, I do know that Lazy Days Racing races with the Southern Motorsports Racing League, also known as SOMO Racing. So they do race over there with, I know the league owner over there, Paul Zoda, definitely a good guy. It's a good league to race for. But they pretty much race over there as they are actually a sponsor over there for some of their races.
Well, I know they got some fans out there watching, so I'll just say straight up, you know, I'll run with them guys any day. They really showed a lot of patience, and, you know, Eric running up there with Nick Reynolds and not running over Nick and was able to maintain it. And, you know, they got some respect from me tonight.
Oh, most definitely there, Dwayne, is the iRacing.com pace car Ford Mustang brings them to the start finish. We should be going 1 to green here. As it crosses the start finish line, the pace lights are off. We are going to have a 3-lap shootout. However, if there is a yellow within 2 laps after going green, that is going to freeze the field, so that'll give you some extra time, if that does come out, for you to find out who is taking home the $100. But we are still currently being led by the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., followed by the 7 of Paul Fugate on the outside. Behind him, the 54 of Nick Reynolds and the 3 of Rodney Wolford will be to the outside of Reynolds. Back in 5th position will be the 10 of Mark Vega, with the 63 of Kevin Hash on the outside of him. So this should be a great restart. The question is that 7 of Paul Fugate going to spin his tires on this restart?
And if he does spin his tires, and what's the number 3 of Rodney Wolford behind him, and the old 3, what are they going to do? Because they're kind of going to be trapped there. And Nick Reynolds, we've seen him run up there. If anybody can contend right now, I think it's going to be the 54 and the 81 that's going to decide who wins this race. Jorgensen's tough, period. And then Nick Reynolds is, you know, he's shown that Charlotte's his. Take a screen.
Pace car is off. The 81 of Jorgensen. Reynolds is all over his back bumper. The green flag flies as Nick Reynolds gives the 81 of Jorgensen a good push here, coming through the dog leg, as Jorgensen is going to clear the 7 of Paul Fugate. So is the 54 of Reynolds in here into turn 1. As these guys are battling out, Paul Fugate is going to jump down in front of Mark Vega, leaving the 3 of Rodney Wolford out to dry up on top as they move up to the wall here, coming for turn number 3.
Yeah, Nick's trying to get him a run. You see him march it out. He's trying to get that run down in there. You know, the 81 has it. You know, we're coming up to, you know, lap 39 here, and Nick is trying to get that run on that 81 truck. And so far, he has not been able to close much of a gap on that.
Well, we got 2 laps to go. The 3 of Rodney Wolford makes a move on the outside of Paul Fugit and is able to clear him, but he's also going to be bringing, looks like the 98 of Jeff Fegan with him. It looks like it is going to be a battle between Mark Jorgensen Jr. and Nick Reynolds, but wait, no, here comes the 3 of Rodney Wolford as he is closing gap here as we are now 1 lap to go. The white flag has flown.
And Jorgensen is leading them in the 4, or in the 1 here, coming out of 2, and he's got a good steady line that he's holding going all the way through there. It's going to be hard for Nick to make a move. He's going to have to drive it off into 3 and 4 as hard as he can and try to get it there. You know, Nick's closed the gap a little bit, but he ain't going to have enough to come out of there. There he goes. He tries to go low, and Jorgensen holds him off. Mark Jorgensen will take the checkers.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, looks like the 81 of Mark Jorgensen is going to win our 3rd and final segment here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We had the 54 of Nick Reynolds in 2nd. The 3 of Rodney Wolford will finish in 3rd. Finishing 4th will be the 98 of Jeff Figlin. And finishing 5th, out of nowhere, the 66 of Bobby Titch. As we are now focusing on the 81 of Mark Jorgensen, watching him do his donouts. We are going to get an interview with the race winner. Meanwhile, Dwayne is off in his booth trying to figure out who is going to win that $100 team challenge. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to give him get a chance to get his breath, and we will get him up in the booth. We will have the 81 of Mark Jorgensen here for an interview. Meanwhile, we are still waiting to get confirmation of who is going to win, which team is going to take home that $100 prize. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have caught up to the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. How about it, Mark? You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, we watched you battle it out with that 54 of Nick Reynolds. Tell us what was going through your mind there the last few laps, as he was definitely challenging you, trying to get around you for that win.
I don't want to sound too cocky or anything like that, but yeah, easy win. I mean, I don't know him and Mark Vega. I don't know if they had issues in the pits, but whenever I come out the pits, I think that last restart or the restart before the last, I think I was 2nd on the outside, and I think there was a little bit of some games being played on that restart. You know, as soon as the pace car dropped, the guy on the bottom started rolling, so I started rolling, then the green flag come out, and I was able to clear him before I got to turn 1. So once that happened, you know, I just kind of, full throttle. I was wide open until the last couple laps after that last restart. You know, I just kind of jacked around with the guys behind me, and that's how, you know, Nick was able to get back to my bumper, you know, and with the draft lock, it's kind of hard to get away from anybody. So, yeah, it was a fun race. That race right there was all right. The other couple were a little bit dismal.
Oh, most definitely here, as we are still waiting on confirmation to who won. We did see that your team, Dark Horse, did finish 1st and 3rd here in the final segment. So we are just waiting to get confirmation there from Dwayne. So if there was anything your team could have done differently here tonight with these 3 segments, what would you think that you would have done differently?
It's kind of hard to put a finger on one thing. Obviously, Talladega and Daytona, those 2 tracks right there are just toss-ups. And as soon as you sign up to race those tracks, it's a toss-up. Whether you're going to get collected into junk or have a good race. I think the first race, me and Rodney finished 2nd and 5th, I believe. So that was okay, but Daytona was just absolute garbage. And it's pretty pathetic, a track that we can go 3 wide at. You can't even go 3 wide, because you're fearing that the guys that you're going 3 wide with ain't gonna be able to keep their vehicle in control, without taking you out. But, I don't know. I kind of wish maybe that instead of running Daytona and Talladega, I wish we would have just ran one of those restricted plate tracks and maybe chose a different track to go along with Charlotte. But I really felt like going to a track that you actually got to drive, you got to use a little lifting off the gas, crack the gas, this, that, and the other. Talking about Charlotte, I think that just kind of played into my wheelhouse.
Well, most definitely, and I definitely want to congratulate on your win in segment 3. Before I let you go, Mark, is there any shout-outs you'd like to give? Anyone you would like to thank?
Oh yeah, just guys who got the Squatty Pod Pole Award. I think we was qualifying at Daytona the first race, and then Charlotte for the third race. So congrats to those guys getting the pole. We got the acrylic art super trucks. They come on board and sponsored our league. In the trucks, so that's pretty cool. We got Radical Racing. Got the Hard Charger Award sponsored by them, and got the Driver of the Night sponsored by them, and then like I was telling some other guys, the East Coast Diecast, that goes to the winner of the championship at the end of the season. That's pretty cool, man. You get to win some money, get to win some prizes, and have somewhat of a good time. Like I said, tonight was just not a good night until we got to Charlotte, and I was able to get up there and do what I needed to do. But other than that, Dwayne for putting this on, and y'all for the broadcast, and I can't wait to go back and take a look at it.
Well, most definitely. Well, once again, Mark, congratulations on your win. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by our second place winner. That is going to be the 54 of Nick Reynolds. Nick, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I did.
Well, I just want to say congratulations on your second place win. You definitely put on a hard battle there with the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. Those last few laps, if there was anything you could do differently, what would you do?
I think if we had another lap there, I probably could have got Mark. I got him in there. I think I was better off on the long run. Once the tires started wearing, when you really got to drive it. Because I know I pulled away from those guys almost a second and a half when I had the lead. But we had a good truck. The Southeast done a good job tonight. I think they might have won the team thing. The A team might have won it. But I guess we'll have to wait and find out.
Oh, most definitely here. But you guys definitely came here for the CRA $100 team challenge. Put on a good show in all 3 segments there. As I've known you guys from other leagues, you guys are definitely good racers. Well, Nick, before I let you go, is there any other shout-outs you would like to give?
Oh, yeah, Southeast Motorsports, Cyber Racing League for putting this on. Y'all guys for doing the broadcast. Y'all do a great job. Sorry, I would like to tell the 3 sorry for beating after the race. He got on the book about it. He was worried about the instant points, but they don't count after the race, so hopefully he'll get over it. Won't be mad about it.
10-4. Well, congratulations on your second place. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in our third place, we have the 3, or the, I got the wrong driver up in the booth here. See if I can go down here and find the 3 of Rodney Wolford so we can get an interview with him. Just bear with me one moment.
He's here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have the 3 of Rodney Wolford, who finished in 3rd position. You got a copy there, Rodney?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, we've seen you definitely battling it out here all night long. Your dark horse guys were definitely battling up front. What would you do differently in these 3 segment races that you probably could have done a little differently?
Well, I guess race, didn't have much race in there, definitely in the second race. And or the third was tippy-toeing around a lot and just, was hanging out trying to do the correct thing, but just getting jumped in that second race, and that set us back real bad. I don't, from what I gathered from points, incident points didn't matter after the race from what I've seen. So I guess should have went a lot harder for sure instead of just putting around, and that really screwed us on that. That was the big thing was, trying to do the right thing and actually have strategy, making fuel mileage, and then race at the end. But getting caught up in all that is what killed us. So I guess just need to go hard from the get-go and not be so easy and take more risks for sure. That's definitely what it is. Should have took risks.
Most definitely here, but you definitely did put on a hard charge. Your whole team there definitely put on a good show tonight. Well, Ronnie, we want to congratulate you on your third place finish in segment 3. Before we let you go, is there any last shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, I got to give you guys a shout out. Dwayne, obviously, for the league, all the sponsors that's come aboard, and a huge shout out to my family, my brother, my father and mother. They're awesome family. I couldn't ask for any better family. You know, everyone's going to say that, but I tell you what, they are awesome. They are badass. And I love you guys to death. I appreciate everything you guys have done for me, and I appreciate the support. I love you guys.
Well, Ronnie, we'll look forward to seeing you next Saturday in the CRA Acrylic Art Super Truck Series, and congratulations once again on your third place finish.
All right, thank you guys. I guess maybe we should go ahead and set a bar right now to expect a little bit more racing to happen next week, and go get that W.
Well, hopefully we'll see you on the victory lane there, but have a great evening.
Hi, Dave. We've thrown everything into the computer, and we have come up with a winner in the team challenge, the $100 team challenge. Woo! I'll start with the top 5. Underdog Motorsports is 5th. OSRA TV brings 4th. Dark Horse Inc. runs 3rd. They jumped up 2 spots at the end. Southeast Motorsports A-Team lost it by 5 points to the winner of the $100 challenge, Rebel Jagger Racing. Matthew Walzenbach, Sean Downey, Raymond Rittenauer, and Sawyer Ott. First, I want to ask Sean one question. Sean, I guess Matt dropping off your team being the weak link was all y'all needed to go on and win this thing, huh?
Well, it worried me a little bit because all Matt ever could talk about ever since you put this show together was how much he was looking forward to coming to Charlotte. This was his home track, so I was looking forward to seeing him out here. But you know, we worried about. Definitely worried about what happened in the first race, but we all really kind of just hung in there and said, hey, go for it, and gave us some good points in the second race, and so he did his job. We're proud of him.
Yeah, you know, and Sean, you don't realize this, but you know, there was another award out there. Well, you know about the award, the Driver of the Night award, and had y'all's team not brought it home, you would have won that. But being that your team brought it home, it's going to John Napier of Underdog Motorsports, which had 8 incidents in 3 races. Sean, you had 4 in 3 races, so you would have actually took it had y'all not won. So you would have still banked.
I was curious about that. I knew I had 4. I got lucky with some incidents that happened right in front of me, and I kind of warped through some of them. But just, you know, you see the wreck, you slow down. You let the debris fall where it does, and you just drive around it. So it ain't too hard. So that's a pretty cool deal. So good job to him. I prefer winning the team challenge over the individual thing right there. So.
Yeah, you know, and I want to ask Sawyer, because Sawyer, you know, you and Matthew was actually tied in points, and the tiebreaker went to you. Otherwise, that could have been you cheering them on there at the end. So I guess it's pretty good that you stayed in and Matt did.
Yeah, I was surprised about that, but you know, either way, I knew if I was in or Matt was in, we had a shot to win this thing. Kind of disappointed about that second race. We had a better run going, but just really happy to get that top 10 here. And we all, I think, knew if we could all get a top 10, or we finished all top 12, we were going to be hard to beat, and I'm just glad we brought it home.
Yeah, Raymond, you was kind of quiet. Normally you're up toward the front, and I think in the last race you can actually thank Dave, because he picked you to win at Charlotte, and then right after he picked you, you wrecked. So
yeah, I kept getting caught up in some wrecks there, but fought my way back and got a 7th.
Yep, and Matt, we'll close it out with you. You know, awesome night. good thing you was in the crew chiefing and doing what you normally do, putting on the cheerleading outfit and cheering on the real drivers, you know, but your team brought it home, and y'all have all bragging rights until we do this the next time.
Hell yeah. You know, I had my pom-poms out after the first race because I got messed up there with my reset not working, so I finished 40th. Started on the pole in the second race, had a great run going there. I think I finished 4th there. Like you said, tied Sawyer with points, with 44 points going into this final race here. And, you know, I went to Sawyer and I was cheering them on. I was, you know, the big cheerleader in our team speak, helping them out, and, you know, just so happy with the guys. So happy this team came together, invited Raymond in, and because normally Sean, Sawyer, and I run together, and was very happy to get Raymond on board. And you know, I just couldn't be happier. You know, all of us run in this league 100% of the time, so it's nice to see, you know, some league drivers win this race and the team challenge. I just couldn't be happier about it.
Yep, and I think because of the success that we had here and the teams that we had, I think I'm going to go back to the sponsors and see if we can do this once a month. And next time we'll go one super speedway, Charlotte, and then we'll pick another track to throw in there too at the same time, because this was a lot of fun and really successful.
Yeah, I think, you know, I had fun tonight. I think everyone I talked to when I was going to the different rooms while we were waiting for that last room to hop up, everyone was just having a good time, talking and stuff. Big thanks to the sponsors. Big thanks to you, Dwayne, for putting this on. Cyber Racing, having a blast. Radical Racing, you know, the Raymond Rittenauer second Squad and Potty Pole Award for all the pole winners tonight in the first race and the third race. I don't really know if that would qualify me in the second race because it kind of got handed to me. But again, great race. Was watching the broadcast. You guys are doing a great job, and yeah, I can't wait to do this again.
Yeah, overall, Dave, it was a lot of fun. I mean, we had, you know, I know Southeast. I've ran with them side by side. I know OSRA, and of course, Underdog is a normal one that runs here. Gary Champion and his Champion Performance Racing we race with. You know, Lazy Days, I had never actually, you know, knew who they were, and they put on a heck of a show, especially at Charlotte there. So, you know, got a lot of respect for them. You know, and we had Radical Racing and Underground Racing, so I think this is something that we might be able to throw in and run once a month and kind of spread out the tracks and have some fun with it, man. This was really nice.
Oh yeah, I love the setup here tonight. It was really entertaining. We saw 2 plate tracks, but then we saw a short track. It definitely kind of shook the field up, gave everyone a chance here. We saw 3 different winners tonight, and one in each segment. Was just an overall great race. And once again, Dwayne, I want to thank you for allowing Dre Broadcasting Network to come on board and bring us, for all the fans, friends, and family of all the racers, to be able to come and watch such an exciting and, to be honest, an unusual type setup here for iRacing that normally you don't see setup races like this with this particular format.
Yeah, I know, and you know, this is kind of a feeder into what you'll see in when dirt racing comes out. Is broadcast will be just like this. They'll run the heat races and then the lower mains, and then the mains, at least we will at Cyber Racing, which is cyberracing.club. You know, check us out. And I gotta say, you know, the live chat there in YouTube was really on the ball. We had a lot of people interacting and being, you know, we got our normal one, Shay, and you know, that group that always cheers on Dark Horse, but we picked up some new ones tonight, and I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope you come back. Dre broadcast some other leagues, not only ours, and I'm glad that I was able to get Dave in here tonight. I hope Art gets well. You know, he's our other broadcast partner with Man Cave Media that does our Friday night league. You know, and I hope he gets well. He was at the VA hospital with his back, so wish him speedy recovery so he can get back. And the only one we was missing, though, is Sean. Dude, I miss that. Oh, copy that. Oh, copy that, Dave.
Well, Sean, if you're out there listening, all we got to say to you, man, is copy that. Can't wait till you come back and do some more races with us. Definitely unusual. I'm not used to being in the booth without him, but it was definitely fun being in the booth with you, Dwayne, and broadcasting this race, which is kind of unusual, but it was kind of thrown together at the last minute there, but it was definitely a fun time, and I definitely enjoyed it. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
And, well, not to cut you off, Dave, but appreciate everything that you do. You know, you've always been first class, and I'm glad that we was able to get you in here tonight, because this actually turned into a lot of fun. I was scheduled to race it, but you know, I'm glad I was up here in the booth with you, because it's seen a lot of great racing tonight.
Oh yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our broadcast for this evening. Once again, I want to thank Cyber Racing Association and Dwayne Cooper for allowing us to bring us to all the fans. I want to also say thank you to all the drivers for all the fun and exciting racing as we visited some great tracks here tonight. We went to Talladega for 30 laps. We went to Daytona for 35 and 40 here at Charlotte. They definitely put on a great show. Hopefully we could see it done again with all the great teams that we had. We had Southeast Motorsports, Dark Horse, Rebel Racing, Championship Performance Racing, and all the other teams out there. They just did a wonderful job. All the drivers were very respectful. It was a great time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to Dre Broadcasting Network. As Dwayne said, we do more than just one league. We do Tuesday nights with Extreme Motorsports 99.com and their Camping World Truck Series. Also on Sundays, we bring you the Precision Racing League United Armed Services Oval Series, which tomorrow night we will be with them at Dover, and tomorrow night we will be live on the iRacing portal. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next race. Have a great night.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org. Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.